We're back. April Fool's Day, huh?
Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see about that. Yeah. Yellow, hello, afternoon. What's up? Let's see something here. I have an idea. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Paint. We're going to edit something real quick. We edit the pricing stuff. Song list cards. Yeah, we could do that. Let's see here. Move those cups out of the way a little bit. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's remove. Whoops. We'll do this. Select. Get rid of this part. Boop. We can just put this. Well, we could do that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm editing like a thing to put up there. There we go. Afternoon says, you should add more Blink to the show? Nah, no thank you. We used to have Blink 182's Adam song, and nobody requested it. We had like maybe 1 or 2 people request it the entire time it's up there. Sorry, man. If you want something, you can always join the Patreon and let me know there. That's the best way, buddy. You got to think so many people ask me to do stuff. Very few people actually support the show. So let's see here. What if we do this? Nah, it looks pretty bad. Yeah, believe me, if I could do everything everybody wanted, it'd be awesome. But I'm not going to because not everybody sends donations. So I'm going to do what the paying customers want, you know what I mean? The people that want to support the show, because it's like, I'll do the stuff that I like supporting my band and stuff. And the people that want to get something, I'll do something for them. You know what I mean? If it makes sense. But as for everybody else, no gimosabi. Can't order off the menu. It's because of that. Let's see here. I think this looks okay now. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Actually, it looks terrible. We'll see how this looks. Okay. And maybe we'll change that to questions. Or we could just take this part out completely. And then we can fill that in. Boom. Yeah, we'll do that. I think that's the better idea. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to move this. Move this over here. That looks better, actually. Then we'll just move this. Whoops. Can I just move it? There we go. All right, we'll fill that in, and then we'll put it up there. That looks fine to me. Save as. Whoops, let's just delete this part. Save as. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we're going to add something to the live stream. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Move it up a little bit. UFC says, how long have you been streaming? 2 years, actually, man. It's been crazy. Well, I have a main stream that I do where I play music. But before the streams, I've been doing just a kind of a hangout, talking, chatting kind of thing. So it's been pretty cool. Been really enjoying it. But that being said, it's a little boring right now because I'm editing something for the stream. But, dude, if you got questions about guitar, music, streaming, video games, whatever, ask me. Let me know. And I'm just going to give my opinion on stuff. So let me see here. I'm just going to add an image here. Pull this up. See here. There we go. Pull that up. Boom. There we go. And then we'll just make that smaller. Pull this down. There we go. There we go. Can we read that? Is that all good? Afternoon says, Pat, what is your favorite video game of all time? Ooh. You want to take a guess? You want to take a guess? So I'll tell you what. I got a bunch of favorites. I don't know if I have a singular one that's my favorite of all time, but I got a bunch that I like. You know what I mean? But yeah, take a guess. See if you can guess it. You know, based on what you know about me and all that stuff. I'd love to know. Afternoon says Fallout. I do love Fallout. I don't know if I would say that's my favorite game of all time though. Definitely on the top list for sure. For sure. Loved it. Loved it. So that's why we're playing it right now. It's good stuff. Let's see here. UFC says, what's your thoughts on bands doing covers? Example, Disturbed doing Sound of Silence. I mean, with covers, there's two ways to do it, right? There's two extreme ways to do it. You either try to get it exactly like the other band, which is like, why bother? Because you're just recreating it. And then the other way is do it differently enough to where it's like now it's a new version of the song, which typically is the way you want to do it because you could elevate it. You could make it completely different. You could give it this other personality to it. Like, for example, if you listen to Tears for Fears, Mad World, Gary Jules' cover, beautiful piano, just a vocal, rather than this more synth pop kind of thing from the 80s, some new wave stuff. It's good, man. And then you have other songs like Evergreen Terrace version of Mad World, which is like a metal rock version, heavy rock. And it's like, it's pretty good, but it kind of loses the magic of it. So, but that's the thing. You take a chance. You don't know what you're going to get. So, but yeah, if you guys got questions about music, guitar, video games, streaming, ask me anything. And if you want an in-depth answer, super chat me something. Send me a PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. We'll see. Let's see. Our XO says, which guitar do you prefer between a Fender Jaguar and a Jazzmaster? Oh, no, I wouldn't put those in the same category, honestly. I know they're both offset guitars. They're both like the goofy kind of Fender stuff, but I don't think they're even close to each other, to be honest. Or a Gibson Les Paul Standard. I would probably take a Jag. I love Jaguars. I have a Les Paul right here, but I like my Jaguars better. But that being said, I still love the Les Pauls. For those of you who don't know, Les Paul is a type of guitar. It's the body shape. It's an entire model like Ford Mustang or, Chevy Corvette, that kind of thing. So there's lots of different versions of it, but it's one specific model. But I just like Jaguars, man. But I got to modify them to make them closer to a Les Paul. So. Sounds great, man. I love it. But I do like them. They're both great. But I would take a Jaguar for sure. I like Les Pauls a lot, and I do a lot of stuff with them. But honestly, the crowd that likes Les Pauls, they kind of piss me off, man. Because, like, all they do is talk about the guitar. They don't talk about, like, the music. It's really weird. It's very strange. Oh, let's see here. Afternoon says, how many Les Pauls do you have? I have 3. But I only use one on the show. I don't use the other 2 on the show because, again, just people being obnoxious and going crazy. The Truth says, I'm blessing people today. Tell me who your Lord and Savior is. Is that blessing people, or what does that mean? What do you mean you're blessing people? Are you? Wait a second. Are you a angel? Are you a saint? Is that how that works? Can you bless people? Can you bless people who are? How does that work? Is that like a magic spell? How does that work? Can regular people just bless people? Is that the rule? What are the rules on blessing people? Gilly Snipe says, I dare you to write an entire EP with the Strato Bastard. Let's see here. Strato Bastard. I mean, the first album was almost entirely recorded with it. I didn't really use any other guitars on it. The first album, the second album, the third album, a whole bunch of stuff was used that. Yeah. Let's see here. Dude says, most underrated recent song. In general, of mine? Of any band in the world? What do you mean by that? Slaw says, what do you think about Michael Kelly's? I just bought one for $300, specifically the Patriotic Decree Standard in Cherry Burst. That's what you bought? I don't know what that is. I know what Michael Kelly is, but should we take a look at it together? Let's look at it together. Yeah. Let's take a look at it together. Give me a second here. Let me pull it up. You guys want to look at a guitar I've never seen before? Or at least I don't think I have. Let me close these windows real quick. You said Michael Kelly, Patriotic Decree? Patriotic Decree. Okay, Patriot Decree. I see that. So let's take a look at it. Hold on. We'll look at it together. We should be able to just pull it up on here, yeah. Okay. All right, okay, here we go. Is the Patriot the body shape? Is it like a Les Paul? What's the Decree? What color is it? Do you know what color it was? Yeah, let's take a look at it together. Truth says, King of Kings. Oh, did you not answer me? I asked a question about, is a person who is not a saint or an angel? Well, I guess angels aren't people. I guess that doesn't make sense. But can you bless somebody? How does that work? Can a regular Joe just bless somebody? David says they can be a blessing. Interesting. That makes sense. But hey, can you bless? Because can you just go bless and just laser somebody with some magic? You know what I mean? God's will. Is that how that works? I don't know. I'm not a saint, so. Afternoon says if he's a priest, maybe. Yeah, can priests do it? How does that work? Yeah. Slaw says, yeah, they're taking a Les Paul. It's Cherry Burst. Oh, a Cherry Burst. Okay, let's take a look at it together. Let's see here. Okay. You know what? If it looks like this, that's a great color. That's a great color. Here's the problem, though. So when you get a guitar like this, when you get a guitar that has, it looks similar to another guitar, the problem is that you can't help but look at it and go, it looks very similar, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? So hold on. Let me pull this up. We're going to pull up a different one. Lala, thank you so much for the wonderful subscribe. I appreciate it. Let's see here. What do we got? Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on. Let me pull up a Les Paul. If you've never seen a Les Paul, I have one right over here, but I want to pull up a picture. Yeah, so if you don't know what that is, we'll take a look at it together. Les Paul Cherry Burst. We'll see what the chat thinks, because I know most of you don't play guitar, which is okay. But we'll take a look at these two, and we'll see which one you think looks better. All right, here we go. So we got two guitars here. We'll put them next to each other. We'll see which one you think looks better. All right, sound good? I think we'll do that. Okay, so hold on. So we got, so there's the, this is the, whoops, I clicked it. So this is the Michael Kelly. So it's got this beautiful, what they call flame maple on it. And it has a cherry burst, so it goes from red to this orangey yellow. Beautiful color. I like it a lot. If you look, it's got the pickup selector up here, 4 knobs, 2 humbuckers right here, whatever that means. But yeah, so it just looks like that. So now let's check out the original. I like the color on the other one a little bit, but you know what? Can we look at it one where it's sideways? Hold on. Are they all just like this? Let's see if we can get a sideways one, because there's a bunch of different colors. Let's see here. Maybe if I put standard. Oh, that's a good picture too. Wait, can we go back and forth? Whoops. Can we look at one that's not sideways? Up and down. Here we go. Here's one that's not sideways. So what do you think, chat? What do we like? The first one. This is number 1. Do we like number 1 or number 2? This has got more symmetry to it. You know what I mean? Because it's got this like smaller to bigger. It's more symmetrical. This one kind of looks like a little melty. Don says number 1. You like number 1 better? It's got a little sharp point here. Number 1's cool, but number 2 is better. So number 1, number 2. The pick guard, nice and big. No pick guard on this one. This one has the strings that go through the body, little holes right here. And then this one's got a stop bar tailpiece, amber knobs. Number 1, number 2. Number 1, it's got the little pointy inlays here. Number 2, little trapezoids. Exo says, number 1, if it's lighter, I like number 2, but I tried one, it's heavy. They can be pretty heavy. You know what, though? I've had so many Les Pauls over the years. I don't think a 2-pound difference between the guitars is that big of a deal, to be honest. I don't know who's playing these guitars and for how long or what they're doing, but, dude, the whole, like, oh, my shoulder, my back. I never had that experience. I don't get it. They've always felt really good. I mean, they're heavier, yeah, but I don't think they're, like, detrimentally heavy. Any Jack says, early stream. Oh, yeah, we've been doing this all week, man. Yeah, tap that screen. Tap that screen. So I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of the original body shape, but it's a good color. It's just when you get something that's, like, similar, but it's not quite, it just kind of has, like, a misremembered shape to it, right? Because, like, if you look at the bottom, it's round. Color looks good. Color looks good. But then you look at the top, and you're like, what happened? This is much taller. This one's going off there. So I think what the bit is that when you have these two locations being so odd, it's like, I don't know. It looks like it's trying to be a Telecaster and a Les Paul, which is fine, but I don't know. I like the original better, man. But I don't think it's a bad guitar. I played Michael Kelly's. I don't think they're really that special. They're okay. They're akin to Epiphone or Ibanez or something in that area. So I don't know. Don says that's why I like it. What, the top or the fact that it kind of looks like a Telecaster? It's like, hey man, if you like Tellies, go for it. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Slaw says playing it though, I prefer the Michael Kelly. Then that's awesome, man. Find something you love. And you know what? I bet your wallet's happy too. You're like, you're not buying a Les Paul, thank God, because they're not just heavy in weight, they're heavy in price. You know what I mean? Basketball says, do I like Rich Bick 10-string? Are you typing with a Wiimote? What's happening there? You okay? First time? Try that one again, buddy. That was... I know what he's trying to say. It's just kind of funny. Sorry, man. We got another subscriber. Thank you so much. Sorry I covered up your name. I just put that sign up there. So, Basketball says, it removes my comment if I say the actual spelling. I don't think you have to spell bitch all the way through. We got Les Paul Kid. Hey, we got Les Paul Kid. Man, that's so funny. Afternoon says, is the paint smell still there from last night? No, it went away. Let me show you guys something. So last night we played a show. I played some music on stream, and we smashed a guitar. So let me show you it. We have the carcass. We have the body from the guitar. Now, it says it's supposed to be made out of mahogany. And it kind of looks weird, man. Like, I'm looking at the wood here. I feel like mahogany's a little darker. But that being said, I'm not a wood expert. Especially when it looks like this. But, yeah, we smashed the guitar. Maybe we could peel this off. Hold on. I don't have a flathead, do I? Sure, I thought I did. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I do. Here we go. Let me get a little chisel. Basketball says, do you like Rickenbacker? They're okay. I like them, but I would never own one. They're kind of a money pit because I need like a heat gun to do this, but no, it's not going to come off. I can tell. I can tell by the way it is. But, yeah, well, that's fine. So, Rickenbacker is an interesting company because if you've never played guitar, I can show you what Rickenbacker looks like. But Ricks, they're very, very specific. So they don't make a lot of different models with differing specs. So they don't have like big fret, small fret. They don't have, certain. They basically make the same guitar in just slightly different shapes. So Rickenbacker, at least in my opinion. So if you look at these things, we'll take a look at it together. So Rickenbacker, known for their basses. If you've ever watched the show FLCL or Scott Pilgrim versus the World, that's the bass. The Rickenbacker 4003, or 4001. But the Beatles also used Ricks. You probably recognize these guitars. But the bit is, I'm going to move myself up a little bit so I can point at stuff. But the thing is with Ricks is they're very expensive. And when you get one, typically they're like made to order a lot of times. So by the time you get it, you haven't played it yet. It's pretty weird. So you'll get it and you'll go, oh, I don't like this. It's got a small neck, small frets. I think they're okay. I've played a couple and I enjoyed them, but I don't love them. But you're paying a lot of money for something you really don't see in stores that often. So unless you're a big John Lennon, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, if you're a big Beatles fan, unless you're like a really Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, unless you're like a really big fan of one of these guitars and you really want one, you don't really care how it plays, you're really going to stay away from them. Yeah, and I'm not saying I hate them. It's just most people are used to playing Fenders and Gibsons and things like that. And these are kind of like a couple steps away from that. Very weird. Johnny Marr, there you go. You could say Johnny Marr. But yeah, typically people have to love them. You have to love them to buy them. They're not a guitar you buy to try. Yeah, they're pretty crazy. But yeah, I think they're okay. But yeah, I'm not a super fan of them. The basses are sick. But yeah, you have to really that's not something you buy without checking out first. Because you're going to be like, what the fuck? This plays like nothing before. Very strange. Folks, if you're just joining us, by the way, we are going to be playing some music later, but we're kind of hanging out. We're talking. We're answering questions. We're just chatting. You know what that is? Just having a conversation, just chatting. So if you want an in-depth answer, you can send a super chat or you can send a PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, something like that. You can. You don't have to. But if you want me to go in depth on something and solve a problem maybe or try to, you can send one of those. But yeah, if you got a question, this is the best time to do it. A lot of people try to ask me questions on my show while I'm playing music, and I'm like, hey, sorry, pal, I'm playing music. I can't help you. So it's pretty crazy. Let's see. But yeah, if you got questions, let me know. We were talking about video games earlier. I don't think I ever answered that, what my favorite video game was. I can tell you guys what my favorite video games are. I made a list for you. Let's see. Let me pull this up. Favorite games. Let's see here. Favorite games of all time. You ready? I'll tell you what they are. So I would say, in no particular order, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, great game. Majora's Mask, Legend of Zelda. Diablo 2, Halo 2, Grand Theft Auto, any of them, any of the major trilogy stuff. Super Metroid, love Super Metroid. Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, AM2R, which is the fan-made Super Metroid or Metroid game, amazing. Battlefield 2, 3, and 4, great games. Mass Effect 2, really loved it. StarCraft, Warcraft 3, Counter-Strike, any of them really. Doom, the first one's incredible, obviously, the older one. Metal Gear Solid 1 and 3, excellent games. Stardew Valley, had no idea I would love that game, and I do. Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Elden Ring. You got your Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Divinity Original Sin 2, Half-Life, Half-Life 2. Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. Excellent games. Burnout 3. Takedown. What a great game. Yoshi's Island. I liked that when I was a kid. Kirby's Dream Land. Much love for the Curb. Super Smash Brothers Melee. Minecraft. Can't forget it. Pokemon Blue. If you liked Pokemon. The only one I loved was Pokemon Blue. Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas. Especially the modded ones. Overwatch. The original was 2016 when it came out. The early builds. As it got older, it kind of got lamer. Fable, loved Fable. Valheim, PC, loved that game. Baldur's Gate 3. Dishonored, what a great game. And it just kind of went under the radar. A lot of people liked it, but great game. Wolfenstein, the remake thing that came out way later. Incredible game. And then, yeah, I'd say those are my favorite games. Maybe Vane, Vampire Survivors. Those are great games too. If anybody likes any of those games, dude, you're in the right place. You are in the right place. Gilly Snipe says, do you like Logic or Reaper better for recording? Neither, because I don't have a Mac, so I don't use Logic. Reaper is something I never got to use properly. I don't understand it. I tried to use it to get some more information because people said you should try Reaper, and I was like, well, I use Ableton, so I don't know why I would use a different DAW. For those of you who don't know, those are audio workstations on your computer. So, like, if you want to record something and you want to add effects, if you want to do a retake, they're basically just a station that you record music at. That's on your computer. So, if you've never used one, change your life. My favorite was Ableton. I really liked it. But then again, you don't really use more than one. DAW or DAW, digital audio workstation. So usually you find one, and if you like it, you stay with it. So Ableton's fucking awesome. So let's see here. Don says, what are your top 3 most requested songs from people without tipping? You mean, what do people ask for a lot when they don't send a donation? Is that what you're asking? Jean-Baptiste says, Reaper is so confusing, and then tutorials are 40-plus minutes. Yeah. I mean, you look at any recording software, and it's like that, dude. But at least with Ableton, it's like, a lot of people use it, and, like, professionals use it. Like, I've never met anybody professional that uses Reaper, to be honest. Not that it's bad, but, like, you don't see people sinking a lot of time into it that are, like, for example, Skrillex uses Ableton, which is like, what? That's just what he uses. So I'm using the same program as the guy that makes all the crazy elephant robot noises. It's like it's the same shit. So it's really funny. Let's see here. Don says yes, like Wonderwall and Master Puppets. I would say Metallica's high up there. A lot of people ask for Metallica, which is fine. I love Metallica. I just don't know how to play any of their music. You know what I mean? I don't know how to play any of it all the way through. Also, their songs tend to be very long, so I don't like to play long songs. Because it'd be kind of a turn off for people. They're like, oh, he's halfway through the song? All right, I'm going to go do something else. I would say Metallica's probably high up there. Maybe Guns N' Roses. I also don't play Guns N' Roses. And I would say just random country songs. Yeah. And also, whenever a musician dies, Ozzy was the worst. I love Ozzy. I love Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath's one of my favorite bands of all time. And when Ozzy died fucking for like a whole month, it was just, hey, brother, come on, man, play me some Ozzy. Come on, brother. And he was like, can you shut the fuck up? Oh, man, come on, play some Ozzy for me, brother. Come on, man, play me some Ozzy. And it was just like, holy shit, dude, relax. That happened so much. There was a kid, this is true. There was a kid that came in, his name was like Ozzy Osbourne fan, like 69 or some shit. And he was like, play me some Ozzy. And everyone was like, dude, can you relax? And then he sent a $200 donation. He said, can you play me some Ozzy? And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, sure, I guess so. $200, I'll try my best. So we started playing, what was it? We played Snowblind. Or at least I tried to. I don't know how to play the whole song, but I know a little bit. So I started playing Snowblind, and then he just kept yelling. And then we found out, two things. One, his stream was behind, which if you don't know, tap that screen if you didn't know this. You can rewind the stream while it's on. Did you know this? Yeah, you can literally go down to the bottom of the screen and just rewind it. You can move your finger across, and then you could also tap on the screen and moves it back. Don't double tap. If you double tap, it likes the live. But I mean, you could if you want to. But yeah, you can rewind the stream. So if there's a scene in a live stream on YouTube that you love, you're like, I can't wait to watch that again. Just rewind it. It's awesome. So anyways, so he had it like all the way back, like probably 15 minutes. So he was like trying to talk to us, and he wasn't seeing us talking to him or like doing the live stream because he had it back like it was behind. So he's just being an asshole. He's like, I paid you money, play me my song, and we're all like yelling at him in the comments. Like, just you're not up the stream. You gotta fix it. So anyways, so he eventually we had to kick him out of the stream. So he paid us $200. Second thing, we found out it was a little kid. We found out it was like a 10-year-old kid. Ozzy Osbourne fan 69 was like a 10-year-old kid, and we were like, oh shit. Because I looked at his profile, I'm like, why is this guy not understanding us? And so in an effort to figure it out, I looked at his profile, and he's like some little ass kid. He's like, he had like a bunch of shorts and stuff, which if you got kids, you got to watch your kids online, because if they're posting videos online, I get you thinking, oh, it's no big deal, whatever. But shit like that happens. People find out they're a little kid. You don't want people finding out the person's a little kid. You don't want that. You want them to be private, because there's a bunch of fucking weird people out there, man. The reason I bring that up is because I've seen people in this chat. Someone will say something like, hi, I'm 14 years old. I really like your music. Can we talk about Nirvana? And then someone will go, this has happened. And they went, hey, kid, what's your Instagram? It's like, what the fuck? Hey, kid, you got Instagram? And it's like, oh, my God. We're all seeing it. So if you got kids, you better make sure they are not obviously kids online. Shit's weird. So, yeah, I know, Don. It's weird. But anyways, so the kid sent $200 from his parents, obviously. And there's no button for me to press to be like, no thanks. Decline. It just goes to YouTube, and then they give it to me. So those kids' parents are out $200. Unbelievable. Basketball says, keep kids off the internet. Well, you know what's going to happen? I hate to say this. This is what's happening. Is that they're going to start requesting IDs and stuff like that. They're going to see if you actually are an adult. So they're going to treat everybody like a kid until you prove you're an adult. It's going to happen. It's already started happening with Discord. Yeah, well, everybody's against it. I'll explain why everyone's against it. It's because Discord's not safe about it. They don't have like proper vetting for everything. Like, they leaked everybody's information. So it's like, why would you want to give somebody your information if they're not safe with it, you know? But then again, it's like, who cares, you know? Okay, it's got your ID. Big whoop. Got it. But it's like, I understand that people really don't want their privacy kind of hindered on that. So, but to be fair, it's like, well, if you keep your goddamn kids off the internet, maybe we wouldn't be in this shit. So it's very upsetting. UFC says, when are you playing music? Great question, UFC. We're going to be playing music in about 2.5 hours. So at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. That's when I play music. Yeah, we do the kind of chatting, talking stream, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we've been doing this for about 40 minutes. Man, time flies. Yeah, if you want to hear music, come back later if you want to. Anthony says, don't want to have a Roblox situation again. I mean, you know what's crazy? I was talking about this the other day. This is not a new problem. This is an ancient internet problem, dude. Like, I remember being on AIM. Does anyone know what AIM is? If you don't know what AIM is, back before Facebook, back before MySpace, there used to be a program on your computer called AIM, and it was before texting was like free. So back in the day, if you wanted to text somebody, money. It cost a couple cents, a couple dollars for texting. Can you imagine that? Think about all the people you text in one day, right? Or a week. That cost money. So people used to use AOL Instant Messenger. Exactly. You used to go on your computer, you'd be like, and it would go doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, every time you got a message. And so people used that, and then the cell phone companies were like, oh shit, we gotta sweeten the deal. Nobody's using our fucking texting anymore. So yeah. ASL, yeah, Gilly. Yeah, ASL means age, sex, location, which is like, are you a boy or girl? are you, or how old are you, and where are you from? It was basically the way people were like, are you a girl? Are you a girl? Are you a girl? Are you a girl? Are you a boy? Are you a boy? That's like the weird way of saying that without being too obvious. So ASL was the, MRF, same thing. But anyways, back to the whole like internet thing. So yeah, that kid sent me $200. So if you got kids on the internet, this has been going on for a long time. You got it. I'm not telling you to like helicopter parent. I'm not telling you to, go around them. Just, if they're on YouTube, just fucking be like, hey, are you on a chat room? No. Boop, 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 and just enable like some kids mode. They don't belong in here. They're not supposed to be in here until they get a little older. So yeah, it's fucking shit, man. They don't belong. Get them on Club Penguin. Let's see here. Don says, play Ozzy, brother. Come on, man. Play some Ozzy for me. It'd be really embarrassing if somebody said play Ozzy and I started playing Black Sabbath and they went, no, man, not that shit. Come on, play some Ozzy. I'd be like, you fucking poser. You liar, folks. If you're just joining us, we are chatting about music, guitar, video games, streaming, whatever. Whatever you're into, maybe I'm into it too. I like cars. Rock climbing's cool too. Cooking, I don't know. We're just chatting, man. And if you want an in-depth answer, if you want me to actually not be funny about it, you could be funny too. Super chat, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Let me know, man. If you want, you don't have to. We're kind of just chatting anyways. Afternoon says, is Fender Player 2 Advanced Stratocaster worth it? Well, I have a Player 2 over here. I use that guitar. I like them. I think they're great. I think they're a little expensive for what they are. You can find a used one. Perfect. The advanced one, let's see what the advanced one is. Gilly says, Pat should start a comedy YouTube thing. Well, I mean, can it all just be whatever we want? Can I do comedy and guitar and video games? Like, why do I have to put it all together in one spot? So let me see here. We said we're going to look at a guitar. What do we say here? The Player 2 Advanced. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's a modded one. Player 2 Advanced. Is this it? I don't see Advanced. You mean the modified? Oh, no, there's one. Advanced right there. Let's take a look at it. Oh, there's one. It's a pretty cool color. Let's see here. What do we got? What are the specs? We need to know what it is. Yeah, we're just riffing. We're just riffing, bud. Let's see here. Sweetwater. We'll check Sweetwater. Get out of my face! Don't you hate it when you click a website and they immediately go, hey, look at this! Can you imagine going into a restaurant and being like, hey, everybody, and they're like, go, check out our specials! It's like, wow, can you please, I want to absorb what I'm looking at. Relax! God damn it. Ooh, $1,000. Ooh, that's already really high. What the fuck is this thing made out of? Gold? That's a lot. Okay, so what do we got here? Let's look at the specs. So if you don't know what specs are, so guitars all look very similar. But you want to look at the actual, what is it made out of? What are the measurements and all that shit? So 6 strings, right-handed, solid body, Player 2, alder, whatever, polyester. So it's a polyester finish, which is the cheaper finish, which I actually enjoy polyester finishes. For those of you who don't know, what a polyester finish is it's more, what do you call it? Hold on. Let me explain it. I have to think about it for a second. It is a more durable finish. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say thicker, but I'm like, what does that mean? It's a more durable finish than what is called a nitrocellulose lacquer finish. So if you see poly or polyester or polyurethane, if you see poly, that means it's not going to wear away smooth. And I will show you an example of that real quick. So as poly wears away and breaks and stuff, it kind of breaks off in chunks. So see this guitar? See how there's a big piece of the paint missing? That's what happens to poly after years and years. It'll chip off and flake a little bit. You can see a little bit right there too. Now, if you look at the body, it's mostly fine. Like there's no major chunks or anything kind of missing from it. This is 20 years. So if you look at a nitro finished guitar, what it will do after years. Car paint, yeah, there you go. I mean, they've been using that stuff for years. What it will do is wear off. This is just bare wood. So if you look, it used to be red, and then it just kind of wore away. So if you have nitro, some people really like that, how it just kind of gets softer and smoother. It has like a patina, as they call it. So if you get a guitar with a nitro, it's very soft. It's not as durable. But the trade-off is that because it's not as durable, it wears away nicer. So it looks cooler. Like, people love old nitro guitars. They look sick. But if you get something with a polyester finish, it looks brand new for longer, and it doesn't react to shit. So, like, for example, I was wearing a shirt this is not a joke, a shirt, and it fucked up the paint a little bit on this blue one. So if you're wearing just a wrong shirt around nitro, it'll fuck it up. So you're like, oh, that sucks. Now it's not as new looking. So if you feel this, it's like, shh, like I can actually hear it. Hear that? It fucked up the paint. So that's the trade-off with nitro and stuff. So if you're getting a poly finish guitar, typically they cost less than $1,000. So usually after $1,000, you start to see nitro finish guitars. So this being polyester for $1,000, it's like, we're getting there. It's like, it's not the best, but it's not bad. Let's look at the stuff that matters, though. It has noiseless pickups. I actually do like noiseless pickups. So, okay, so I know exactly what they're doing here. Hold on a second. So, basically, if you buy this guitar, right, it looks a little bit nicer, whatever. It has the big block saddles. You're basically buying a Player 2 Strat, which is like $800, but you're getting a different, nicer set of pickups for the same amount of money. So it's like you might as well just buy a Player 2 Strat and put noiseless pickups in there. All right, so what's the radius? Is there anything different about the radius? Let's see, noiseless pickups. Because I like noiseless pickups. I really do, actually. They're very clean sounding, but they're not as noisy. Let's see here. It has a push-pull, tone knob, whatever. That's cheap. You can install that yourself. 9.5-inch radius, 22 medium jumbo frets. Not really a lot of upgrades. It's just the pickups, basically. Yeah, dude, I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it's worth it. You're paying more for something you can decide if you want yourself. Is the neck heel contoured at all? Not even. Wow, you're paying extra for the pickups. That's it. Locking tuners? Oh, locking tuners. That's a little bit nicer. Yeah, you're basically buying a Player 2 with like slight upgrades, that's Fender's thing. The Deluxe series, they've been doing that for years. The Ultra, at least the Ultra was like a bit nicer, quite a bit nicer. Dude, you want to see a good-looking guitar color? Hold on. What the hell is it called? Is it Skyburst? Let's look up Skyburst. Strat. I'll put Scuburst. Skyburst. You got to see this. Not strategic, you fuck. If I put Strat, I mean the guitar. I hate it when it autocorrects like, did you mean this? We got to put Ultra. Beautiful guitar. What the hell? American Elite. I'm sorry. Elite. I said Ultra. Oh, baby. Oh, my God. Look at this color. Don't lie to me. Look at this thing. With the rosewood, dude. Let's put rosewood. Hold on. Don't lie to me. This is gorgeous. Wait, let's go back. This one. Here we go. 502 Outlaw. Thank you for subscribing. Look at this gorgeous guitar. Shut your mouth right now. That thing's beautiful. That's a phenomenal guitar. Can I look at the damn thing up close? It's metallic. So you get this metallic, you get a metallic burst. It's like Lake Placid Blue where it goes light to dark. Oh my God. Beautiful guitar. Oh my God. 502 says I'm a retired guitar tech. So you can let me in on your opinion too. Right on. Retired, huh? Got sick of all the people asking for string changes? Nah, I'm kidding. You probably did it enough, and you're like, yeah, I'm getting old. No more of this shit. No more metal kids asking for a faster playing guitar. You're like, I guess, mister. Beautiful guitar. Look at that thing. No, 60 years. Okay. You're just like, I spent my time. I earned my stripes. All right. Gorgeous. Look at that thing. One of the best colors, dude. I think they had one on a Jazzmaster that was also really good. Oh, man. Let's look at this. Yeah, that's a good color. What's up with the pictures though? You need like a really good flash on the. There we go. Is this Music Zoo? No, Crutchfield. Look at that color. Lake Placid blue is gorgeous. I love it. Mint green. Beautiful. Oh man, great stuff. I love it, dude. Yep. I don't know why they discontinued the color. I mean, I kind of do. This Fender's thing where they make something really good and they go, all right, that's enough. We're gonna hide this now. So we're not gonna do that. Gilly Snipe says, I looked up the Tet offensive for a school project. Vietnam. And it autocorrected to Tetris offensive competition. That'd be funny if you didn't realize what it was saying and you were just like talking about your report. You're like, Vietnam had something called Tetris. It's a game. Vietnam had Tetris. Galactic says, what do you think about the Epiphone Wino? Is that Jerry Cantrell's guitar? I'm going to be real, man. I'm not a big fan of Epiphone. Their prices are going up and their quality is not. Anytime I see those, I always just think like, I don't know. They're probably okay. Here's one. It looks good. It's a great color with the gold hardware too. But how much are they? They're probably what, like $1,000? $850. That's more reasonable than it usually is. But think about it this way. Can I make a point? Can I make a point here? So great looking guitar. You get your Epiphone things. You get your nice Jerry Cantrell truss rod cover right there behind me. But let me put it this way. $850, right? Let's go to Guitar Center. Let's just go look at the used stuff real quick. Les Paul Studio. I want to make a point here. You could buy for the same price. Let's go look at the used. For the same price, $850, right? Let's go low to high. And then we want Gibson. $850, right? Here's one right now. Now, this is obviously a different model, but you could get an American-made, finely made guitar. Not amazing, but great. The studios are slept on. You could get that for the same price. Comes with a case, probably. Maybe a bag. Now, is it the same? No. Gloss finish? No. The same inlays, block inlays? No. But you get something I think is going to hold its value better and it's going to last longer, and you're going to enjoy it more, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a big... Oh, look at this. We got one with the finish. Gold. Look at that. $900. I guarantee that probably comes with a case. Look at that thing. Wine red. Gold hardware right there. Somebody buy this. $900. So you could have this. Now, I know it's not the binding and all that stuff, but it's there, man. That's why I'm always like, Epiphone. Used, yeah, buy that. Thank you, 502 Outlaw. Yo, come out right here. Psh, let's high five you, man. Yeah, get a studio, man. They're not amazing. They're great. Studios are great guitars. This looks actually, you know what though? This looks like a 2015. I can tell because the fretboard. Hold on. The fretboard looks like baked maple. There was for those of you who don't know. Oh no, it was a 2012. Sorry, 2015 is when they had the weird robot stuff. 2012 is when they had the baked maple. So what happened is Gibson got in trouble by the law. The feds came in. They said, Psh, freeze! Are you using wood from India? And they were like, maybe. And they're like, you're not allowed to be doing that. You got to get it from other places because you're doing it too much. And then they took all the wood. They said, we're taking this. And then Gibson was like, what the fuck? How are we supposed to make guitars? And then somebody yelled, use maple! And they said, fuck it, we're using maple. So they just used baked maple, which, to be fair, you really can't tell from far away. It just looks like brown wood. But it does affect resale value and stuff because people are going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with the fretboard? So that looks like one. Can we check? Did they take a picture of the headstock? Yeah, they did. Okay, hold on. Gold hardware, man. Looking good. Okay, we can't tell, but I'm pretty sure that's a 2012. But they only happened 1 year. Only happened 1 year. And then after that, they were fine. So, yeah, dude. If you're a fan of Les Paul, say something in the chat. Let me tell you something right now. The Wino, if you really want to get the Allison chains, dude, go for it. Don't let me stop you. But you could buy that, and I think you'd be a lot happier. Basketball says, what do you think about the Jackhammer signature Claudio Sanchez guitar? I remember seeing this, I think, long time ago. Whoops, it just looked up your name for some reason. Hold on. Let me try that again. Oh, it moved the chat up. That's weird. Let me copy and paste that again. Can we try it again? Yeah, there we go. The Jackhammer, Lawman. Claudio Sanchez, incredible guitar player. Love Coheed and Cambria. Let's see here. This is it? Does he still use this? I've actually never seen him use this. Let's go. Can we still buy it? Reverb. Let's go to Reverb. Check it out. Okay, there we go. Pictures 2,000. All right. Not terrible for a signature. Can we look at it? Where are the damn pictures? Show me the goddamn pictures. Get the hell out of my way. Can I look at it? What the hell is this? There we go. Okay. I had to click down. Whatever. Let's check it out together, chat. What do we think? Right off the bat, I can tell exactly what it's trying to be. So Claudio Sanchez is from the band Coheed and Cambria. Incredible band. Big fan. Claudio used to use a guitar called the Explorer 2, which we can look at. Let me go back. Explorer 2? No, not the fucking Rolex. I want to see the Gibson. Here's the funny thing. You guys are thinking, oh, this guy just likes Gibsons. No, I don't. I like Les Pauls, and I like old Gibsons. And I do like some of what Gibson does now, but it's too expensive. Anyways, I think it is the 2. Yeah, the E2. Yep. So we'll take a look at this. So this is the E2. It was a very weird guitar. And this is Claudio Sanchez's favorite, I think. Is this eBay? No. Okay, good. Out of stock, guys. Sorry, we're not buying it. Okay, well. Okay, so here's the pictures. So if you look at it in like a little bit of depth, so you look right here, you'll see a contour. It's not like flat. It's kind of shaped like that. And you'll see a sandwich. It's like, what is this, Carina or mahogany? And then there's something in the middle, and there's another piece of wood. See right there? See the line? So it's there, and then you see the Explorer shape, and it's look more contoured, smoother, softer. It's a more feminine body shape. You know, it's not rough-edged. It's not built like a man. You know, I don't know why I'm saying that, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's more contoured. It's better. It's got some hips. Yeah, there's a good shot of the contouring. So Explorers are not like that. But yeah, look at that. Okay, there you can see the sandwich. So it's got like a veneer kind of thing going on. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So the Jackhammer, whatever this is, looks like it's trying to do that. So if you look at, yep, I'm a genius. Tap the screen right now if you think I'm a genius. Subscribe if you don't. Maybe see you later. But yeah, you can see all the contours. So it looks like it's trying to be an E2, which, hey, good on them. But for some reason, they added a flying V shape, which I don't think combining an Explorer and a V is a good idea. Also, it's got a 3x3 headstock. Not very cool either. But it's got the block inlays, and it's a big gloss finish. So I don't know. I'm going to say cool idea, would never buy it. It looks too much like an alien weapon. You know, it looks like a Xiphos. Do you guys know what a Xiphos is? Let me look up Ibanez Xiphos. I spell it Z-I-Phos, of course. Yeah, look at this piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I got to play one. They're actually pretty cool. But damn. If you typed into Google and said alien guitar, future guitar, that's what you'd get. Ibanez Xiphos. Oh, and there's what is this? A Schecter destroyer looking thing? Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see here. Gilly says, Pat, the genius who's definitely 6'2". I have never once claimed that I was tall. I am short as shit. You've probably had pancakes stacked higher than me. I am 4'1". So yeah, I don't know why you would say that other than to be hateful. It's not hateful to be short, man. But yeah, Xiphos, pretty great guitar. But yeah, I'm gonna say cool, but ultimately the Jackhammer is, I don't really want it. You know, it's okay. I've seen better, but okay. Yeah, it looks like, also it kind of looks like a Gibson Modern. Have you seen this thing? I actually got to play one of these once. Yeah, the Modern. Have you seen this? Fucking insane. It's like half flying V. What a terrible picture, dude. What the fuck is this iPhone, Facebook, fucking marketplace? Why is it so blurry? What the fuck? I'm sorry. Terrible. Here we go. This is what we want. Okay. We have to talk about the headstock. What happened? What happened, Gibson? Why? What are you doing? Oh my God. Everybody, can we get some thumbs downs? Thumbs down. Thumbs down. What is that? Could you stop? But look at the body. Gibson, you're drunk. Knock it off. It's like they said flying V and they went, nah. Oh, my God. Dropped on its head as a ukulele. That's a great joke. I love that. Thank you for saying that. My God. But here's what's funny. I played one of these. And it actually is pretty good comfortable. Like, it's pretty good. It's comfortable. It's fine. Dude, this thing's not so bad. Like, let me explain why. Flying V, right? You get this side and this side. It's a slope, right? It's a slope for the flying V, hence the V. It'll fly off your lap. Here's the thing. This thing right here, nice little curve, it just sits in your lap. You're like, oh, okay. It's like, it's all right. Yeah, I got to play one. They're great. Here's what happened. They said, the Flying V is stupid. And then somebody said, I like it. And they said, all right, we'll make it, but just for you. And then they went over to the Modern, and they went, what the fuck is this thing? And then somebody said, just try it. And they said, all right. And they sat down, and they went, oh, this ain't so bad. All right. I think it's okay. Let's play it. Let's fuck around. What's whatever. You got the Explorer, the Flying V, you got the Modern, and then, again, terrible. Yeah, you have to think about it this way. What appeals to your eyeballs does not appeal to your feelies. Does that make sense? I'm sure a lot of you have had something maybe in your lap, and you're like, I don't like how it looks, but it feels good. You know what I mean? Say hi to your mom for me anyways. So the Modern, weird guitar. But I know we went on a big tangent there. But if you guys got questions, we'll talk about music, guitar, video games, streaming. Ask me whatever you want. And if you wanted me to answer something in depth, send a super chat, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever, man. We'll answer something for you. It's good stuff, though. Let's see here. John Baptiste says, the ugliest guitars are always the most ergonomic. They tend to be, yeah. For some reason, your eyes and your hands are completely disconnected. It's very weird. I don't get it. But it is how it works. Strats, though, Strats look cool, and they feel good. Leo Fender, smart guy. Let's see here. Are we doing reactions? Is that what's going on? Everyone's like, tell me about this thing, brother. Oh, my God. Chaz says, thoughts on the SD1. The SD, you mean the DS1 or the SD1? SD1? Boss? Or DS1? Oh, Super Overdrive. Okay. So most people talk about the DS1. Super Overdrive. I've never owned one. But my friend Steve had one, and he liked it. He thought it was pretty good. It's probably fine. I feel like, in my opinion, overdrives are kind of like soft distortion. You know what I mean? It's like you got a distortion pedal, and you just went, how about less? So it's kind of limited in what it does. So, I don't know. I'm not a big overdrive guy. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you something, okay? All right? Let me get my guitar pick. Hold on. So let me actually take a guitar out. Let's talk about this. All right? Gilly says, gotta go. Stay gnarly, Pat. Have a great night. All right, buddy. Well, we'll be streaming for a couple hours. We're going to play music at 8, but I like to talk before the shows. So let's talk about distortion, overdrive, all that stuff. So we got a guitar, right? Clean sound. Pretty good. Pretty good clean sound. Not super clean, but like rock and roll clean, right? So my opinion is if you want to get like a good overdrive, you can get a pedal for sure if you really want cleans and you want to preserve them. I usually just get an overdriven pickup or just put it really close to the strings, and then you get a... Right? All I had to do is bridge pickup. But to be fair, let me switch guitars real quick. You can get it out of the pickup, or you can get a guitar that has a cleaner sound to it, and then you can get a distortion out of it too, right? Ironically, my Les Paul's a little cleaner than all the other ones. Right? Sounds good? Distorted. Go to the neck pickup. Nice. And then you can coil tap it. Much cleaner. Bridge pickup, coil tap. You got options. So if you want to use an overdrive pedal, you can. I usually just stick to what the pickups kind of do, but I do have an overdrive. I have a boost, which is really just a different kind of overdrive. So you can get like a... Right? Let's get that in tune a little bit. We're out of tune. Yeah, you can get a pedal. That being said, I think that you get whatever you want. As long as you find a sweet spot, you're good. 502 says, are those ceramic magnet Gibson pickups just the bridge? Good ear, man. They tend to be hotter. It's a Gibson 500. It's a 500T, which I adore, but I know it's not for everybody. I actually really like the 498 too, which is like the standard pickup they used on everything. So, see, here's what, can I just point some out? The amount of people that say, what are you using versus I can tell what you're using, very few. 502 Outlaw is what I would call somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. So thanks for being here, man. See, they're not as clear, but they handle gain a lot better, in my opinion. See. Sound great. I love them, dude. But if you want to get that single coil, sound great. You get that nice little chime to it. You know what I mean? You can hear the highs, not a lot of lows. This is my budget Jimmy Page 502. This is my Jimmy Page without the Jimmy Page price. You know what I mean? Wait, what we got? I'm trying to think. How does that go? You got to get the coil taps, then you got to get the phase stuff and all that. If you know anything about Led Zeppelin, you know Jimmy Page had like a bunch of crazy knobs and stuff on his guitars. So, sounds great though. Man City says, what are your tips on writing original music? I mean, if you want like a blanket tip, because like if you don't have like a specific question, if it's like vague like that, a vague piece of advice for you is to just be honest. Like whether you're writing like somebody else, whether you're trying to be completely original, whether you're inspired by somebody, you're in a cover band, you're trying to learn music and write stuff like them, or you're trying to not sound like anybody, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you share your point of view in music. You know what I mean? Be honest with how you feel. If you want to become the next Pearl Jam and you want to sing like that, go for it, dude. If you want to sound like nobody else, go for it, as long as you're being honest. Because the moment you're like, well, everybody keeps calling me a Pearl Jam cover band, I don't know. It's like, okay, maybe you are. You know what I mean? Is that what you want? Do you want to be like, do you want to sound like Pearl Jam? You're like, well, yeah. It's like, then do it. You know, it's up to you. It's not up to you to make them like it. It's up to you to make something that you feel honest about. And if they like it or they don't, that's up to them. But if you're not happy with them being unhappy with it, then maybe you make changes if you want to. Just make music. Yeah. Rob says, write what you want to hear. That's a good way to put it, but I will say this. You're not making dinner for yourself. You have to understand, if you're making dinner for like people around the room, don't be upset when you go, what, you don't like my pickle casserole? If you're making something, people are like, this is fucking foul. I don't want to consume this. And you gotta have to be, again, you gotta be honest. Like, do you care? If you care, then you're like, okay, well, what do you like? Maybe there's a compromise. But again, don't change it to where you're like, I hate what I made now. Because I'll tell you what, you're not gonna play music you don't like. Don't do that. Be honest. Do you like the music you're writing? If somebody says they don't like it, and you're like, I don't want to write music like that, then don't. Don't change it unless you like it. You know what I mean? That's my advice. Because you're a musician. It's the music business. It's an industry. You can't be in business to lose money. That doesn't make sense. So make music you want to. But if you're making music that people fucking don't like, don't be surprised when people don't show up. But at the same time, if you're making music you don't like and people love it, you're not going to want to play it. You are selling a product. Right. Yeah, like I said, you're making dinner for other people. If they say they don't like macaroni and cheese, don't do it and be surprised. And it's also like, it's kind of like body odor too. Stay with me. So like, if you can smell yourself, right? I can smell myself. Other people can smell you a lot. So what you think is like a minor thing, like, people don't, maybe they're not going to notice it. Maybe they don't care. They're going to notice it and they're going to care. At least most of the time. So if you're playing a guitar out of tune, you're like, it's not a big deal. No, they know. They know it's out of tune. And they're like, this sucks. Tune your guitar. If you're playing off beat, you're a little off beat. They're going to know. Put on some deodorant. Fix it. Metaphorically and literally. Don't be stinky. I know there's a lot of middle schoolers in my chat, so don't do that. Ink says, doing it better than not doing. I suppose. Man City says, I want to write music that sounds original, but also inspired by other bands. That's everybody, man. Nobody's an island. The only reason you're playing music is because somebody inspired you to, right? So go ahead. Cheese says, you see my message, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so Man City. So you have to decide, like, whatever your favorite bands are. I don't know what your favorite bands are. But you have to decide, are you going to go too close to the sun and, get accused of being like a rock and roll poser kind of guy that just rips people off? Or are you going to be subtly inspired by somebody and be like, I wrote the song to be similar to this band, I wrote this to be similar to this band. And people are like, I don't hear that at all. And you're like, okay, well, I do. You know what I mean? Rhett says, yeah, don't like that natural odor. Wash yourself and wear deodorant, perfume, and cologne. Whatever you want, man. If you want to be stinky, go for it. But don't be upset when people call you stinky. That's what I'm trying to say. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. All right. So Galactic says, who's your biggest inspiration? Real quick, if you guys are enjoying the show, tap that screen, like the live, subscribe if you aren't subscribed yet. I talk about music before my music show. We have a chat show where we talk about music, we give advice and stuff like that. And then around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so about an hour, 45 minutes, we'll start to play music. We'll take requests, stuff like that. And then later in the night, we'll play video games. So we do a whole bunch of stuff on the show. So let's see here. Blake says, do you like the sound of new strings or old strings better? Oh, I would say day or two old strings. Because brand new strings will go out of tune a little bit. Just a little. If you don't stretch them out. But they're considerably more bright. But, give it a day or two. It'll get back to like a nice, not super bright. But old strings, I'm going to tell you something. My hands do not sweat. I'm lucky. Some of y'all sweaty hands, you got the acid alien sweat. You guys have to get strings like what? Once a week? once every 2-3 weeks, something like that. You guys got rust. Doesn't happen to me. I have strings that can last a long time. That being said, the strings do wear out. So don't get me wrong. I don't have infinite string. So the idea is that as you play the guitar, as you rub the string on the frets, as you do stuff like this, you're going to friction. It's going to wear away, right? Nickel versus nickel, whatever. So as you do that, underneath the string, it will start to develop a groove, and not a good groove. So I do have to change the strings, but my strings last an unimaginably long amount of time. And I play for 3 hours a night. Every night, baby. Does anybody want to take a guess how long my strings last? See, I used to work at a guitar shop, and when the sweaty dudes came in, I fucking hated you guys. Well, listen, we know you're going to play Metallica's Enter Sandman wrong for 15 minutes. It's okay. We forgive you for that. But if you're a sweaty motherfucker and you come in and you're like all over the guitar neck, dude, clean it off. Clean it off. It's not a gym, but you should treat it like a gym. Clean it off. Do you know how many guitars I've seen? This is not a joke. Do you know how many guitars I've seen that have literal rust that are less than a month old because some sweaty guy came in and just went, let me play this real quick. All over the strings. You guys are sick. Bring a goddamn handkerchief with you. Get a bandana. Join a gang. Do something where you have to carry something around that's just oh, whoops. Bane of my existence. It eats away. Oh, my God. Horrible. Oh, my God, dude. It's terrible. Tyler says, you got to make him pay for that guitar after that session. You know what's fucked up? This is true. When I used to work at a guitar shop, there was this time when a guy came in. He was playing a $2,000 ES335. Worn cherry. Pretty great guitar, but really expensive, right? Not the most, but, in the mid-range. And he's playing it, and he, is talking to me and my coworker. And he puts the guitar against a goddamn wall, at no angle. It's not like this or anything, not against something. Even so, you don't do that. And it just went. Snap the headstock right off, dude. And of course, it's a Gibson, so it's not prone to that. But dude, I'll never forget. He went that's not my fault. You guys saw that. I'm like, motherfucker, you just put it against a wall. What do you think it's going to do? Stay put? Have you heard of Gravity? It's not just a movie. Couldn't believe it, dude. Couldn't believe it. Right in front of us. And my coworker was literally and I just was like, whatever, dude, fuck it. Because we weren't going to make him pay for it. That's not how usually guitar shops work. Not all of them, at least. Because, we have a repair tech. They're going to take care of it. It's fine. But still, back in the day, though, we would have beat the shit out of him. Oh, my God. Crazy. All right, so we got some people asking some questions over and over again. Sorry. If you guys got questions, you're more than welcome to ask some. Also, super chat a request. If you guys got a question, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. If you want an in-depth answer, we'll see. Let's see here. We got some people asking some of the same stuff over. Les Paul's, any Gibson. Yeah, any Gibson, because they use a one-piece neck. So they don't dovetail the headstock. It's just one piece. So the wood's really thin there. So which is why I have this guitar. I got this on clearance because the headstock got repaired. I only paid half price, baby. So if you can see right there. I don't know why you can see it in the light, but in the light... You see a big old chunk out of it. But, hey, it's good. Yeah, no volute. No volute. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Luke? Luke says, how did you learn guitar? Oh, I just went online. Legitimately, no lessons. Just went online. Thank God for YouTube. You'd be able to go on here and you'd look up. I would look up something. I'd be like, what is palm muting? Palm muting is where you take the meat of your hand. You put it right here. You don't go too far this way. And then you play it, There's so many. The University YouTube is so good. So good for learning stuff. However, I will say this. Guitar is great to have somebody in person to play with or actually watch because there's techniques and things you have to learn from somebody going like this. If you're playing guitar and you're like, how come when I play this song, the strings are muted? It's okay, your fingers are not curved around. It has to be like this. You're doing this. It's like, oh, that minor change helps. So if you can play music with somebody, if you can like hang out with somebody who plays guitar, it's like the skateboard of instruments. You can't really go to school for it. You got to hang out with somebody down the street, you know. Somebody's got it, like someone at your school plays guitar, and they know something you don't. So that's what you do. You kind of hang out with somebody. So that was what I do. You go on YouTube, you learn as much as you can, and then you hang out with people that do play it. And then you osmosis, take information from them. So that's what I did. Or you could get lessons if you want, nerd. But I'm just kidding. You can take lessons, man. I used to give lessons. Long time. Man City says, what's your favorite color? Would you like to guess? Would you like to guess? I've said it a couple times on the show. But you did not see it. So what do you think the favorite color is? Red? Incorrect. I do not like red, actually. Wow, 3 people said red in a row. Holy shit. You know what's funny? I actually said multiple times on the show I actually don't like red. Even though you're going to be like, well, Pat, that guitar you're holding is red. Blah, blah, blah. It's cherry sunburst. Okay, get it right. It goes yellowy, orange, amber to red. And I think that looks cool. We got some people saying blue show says, or shoe says, hello from New Zealand. Hello from down there on the place most maps forget. How you doing? Welcome to the show. That's terrible. Terrible New Zealand accent. Wasn't even fucking right. Not even correct. Not bad. No, it was fucking terrible. You know what's funny? There's a game I've been playing recently called Dinkum, which is basically if you've ever played Animal Crossing. It's Animal Crossing for the PC, and it's great. But it takes place in Australia, so there's a lot of shit like that's in the game where I'm like, is that in Australia or is that like fake? Is that just in the game? Like bush limes. Do you guys have bush limes in New Zealand? Do you guys know what that is? I mean, I'm sure you do, but I thought bush limes were fake. I thought they were fake. I didn't understand. Anyways, we got Tyler says, is the other one on the rack cherry as well? No. There's one that's black. Let me see. But it was candy apple red. You're going to be like, what the fuck? You ruined that. But yeah, it's all black because I put electric tape all over it. I don't like red. So I put electric tape all over it, and it fucked up the paint, so it's fine. So, all right. Let's see here. I see a bunch of people saying blue, blue, blue. So, blue, I do like a color blue. It's one of my favorite colors. Depends on what it is. You ever notice that? Sometimes you like a color on one thing, and it's not on another thing. So, like, for example, on cars, I'm a really big fan of certain blues. Does anybody want to take a guess which blue? You're like, come on, it's blue. No, there's some different blues, man. Cyan, no. Nothing like that. Luke says, hey, do you play Metallica songs in here? No, unfortunately I don't. But if you want to see a song list, I can show you. But we're not playing music until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is in an hour and a half. So give me an hour and a half. We'll play some music later. I cannot play more than 3 hours of music a night. If I do, I will lose my voice. So I don't do that. A lot of a lot of people with good blues out there. All right, none of them are correct, but I will show you what it is. So my favorite blue in the world is this one. This beautiful blue. We were looking at it sort of earlier, but really love this color. And you're probably going to be like, that's cheating. That's a metallic color. Too bad. It's my show. It has a name. I'm going to use it. But I love this color, dude. I wish the headstock was matching, but hey, can't win them all. Man City got it correct. It is Lake Placid blue, baby. Lake Placid blue, incredible color. Love it, dude. Love it, dude. Yeah, great color. Edsel says, hi, Patrick. You remember me? Yeah, you were here yesterday, bud. I remember. We were talking about guitars. Could you believe it? Metallic Ice. That's close. That's close, John Baptiste. I almost bought a Jaguar in Ice Blue Metallic, which is more of like a silvery blue. It's more silver than blue. Beautiful color. Can we look at it? We should look at it. Ice Blue Metallic. I almost bought one because it had what's called finish checking. So we were talking about this earlier. So this is a nitro finish on it. So nitro finish guitars wear away smoother and softer, but they're also prone to cracking, which is called checking. These little tiny cracks. And it's very annoying. So let's pull up a Ice Blue Metallic. Oh! Could you just, don't lie to me. Could you tell me this is not a beautiful good color? Hold on, let me show you. Don't lie to me. Look at this thing. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, look at that. Ice Blue Metallic. Tell your mom. Look at that thing. Ice Blue Metallica. Yeah! Great color. I love it, dude. But I went for the more deeper blue. I like those better. But I was very close. But it had finish checking, which kind of looked cool, but it was too spare. Like, usually if you have finish checking, I'll show you finish checking. Hold on. Finish checking guitar. Typically, you want it to be like this. See how it's like a bunch of lines, like hairline fractures? You want it to be kind of uniform, kind of. But if you get something where it's not uniform and it's just like really big-ass cracks and it just looks bad, obviously it looks bad. Like, here's a good way. This is bad. That looks like shit, doesn't it? Especially with the photo bucket thing. See, that doesn't look good. That looks like garbage. You don't want something with big old cracks like that aren't uniform. You want something that's smoother looking. Like, this is okay. The finish cracking on that's like, okay, it's starting to get there. One of my Les Pauls is starting to do that, which is like beautiful. But the moment it's like just like really big, looks like Wolverine went, you don't want that. So not a great experience. But yeah, great colors. Shout out to Metallic Colors from Fender, the best. They're the best, dude. Oh man, let's see here. If you guys got questions, let me know. If you got a music question, guitar question, video game question, streaming question, whatever we're talking, you can ask me anything. You can super chat me a request, or PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever you want. If you ask me something, I will give you an in-depth answer if you do that. So, Man City says, Patrick, you remember me? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Everyone's going to start saying that now. Phobia says, what's your favorite guitar brand? I'm a big fan of Fender. I would say in order from my favorites to my least favorites, I would say Fender's number one, maybe Yamaha number two, and then Seagull. I like Seagull guitars a lot. Gibson's up there, but they're not my favorite. They just make a lot of questionable decisions, and they're kind of a shitty company. But they make good guitars. But I don't like the stuff behind it, you know. So, all right. Galactic says, not to be repetitive, but do you remember me? No! Stop it! No more! No more of this question. I hate it! You're ready to go! Why are you guys doing this? I'm just kidding. Why does he have that camera? Why does he have that camera? Why does he do it? Because I can do this! It's my show! Sorry. Blake says, you turn your tone knob all the way down, right? Yeah, I took it completely off. I turn it down as in 0. No, not even on there anymore. Negative. I have negative tone technically. Oh, yeah. But, man. Yeah, if you guys got questions, whatever. Does anybody want to see the song list for later? If you want to see the song list for later, I can show you. But Galactic says, I've been here since 13,000 subs. Really? That's halfway. That's awesome. That's last year, man. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. But, oh, man, guitars are phenomenal. 502 says, show it. Show what? What are we showing? That might be an old response. Man City says, yes, please. Oh, you mean the music list, the song list? I'll show you. Okay, give me a second. Says song requests paused. Yeah, we're not playing music right now. So I'm going to hide. We can't do it right now. I'm sorry. I know some of you are like, why not? If I play for more than 3 hours a night, I will lose my voice, and I don't want to do that because I sing and play. But yeah, those are all the songs and all the bands I play. Finals is my band. If there's a song you guys like from my band, you guys can check that out. Man City says, Patrick, do you play any Pearl Jam? I think you asked me that before. Do you remember? Do you remember me? But yeah, if it's not on there, I can't play it. I know a lot of people are going to be like, can you play this? Can you play that? Can you play this? Just look at the list. It's all written up there. Instead of answering the same question 30 times for different bands, just the list is not super long. It's like maybe 150 songs, maybe 200 if I'm lucky. I don't know. It's up there. It's over 100. So trust me, it's up there. Deftones, Radiohead, Foo Fighters, Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins. There's a whole bunch of bands up there. Green Day, Weezer. Whole bunch of bands. There's a lot of stuff I like to play and a lot of stuff I've been playing for a while. So, and if you're probably thinking, Pat, excuse me real quick, could I add a song to the list? And no. But if you're here long enough and you're on the Patreon, for example, the Patreon's only $1. I take suggestions on there. I'll ask people what they want to hear. I'll recommend stuff. I'll say, hey, are you guys going to be listening to this? You want to check this out? What do you guys think of this? You know what I mean? Like, we're adding more Radiohead. Think about that. So, by popular request, people were like, hey, Radiohead? And I was like, you know what? I feel like Radiohead. So, all right. So, I think you guys have seen the list for long enough. So, I'm going to switch it back to Pat Chat. So, like I said, I already said it. We're not playing music right now, but later we will. I promise. We'll play music later. We're kind of hanging out, so I appreciate it. Yeah, because Mr. Metal says, can you play Nutshell? I do know how to play it. I'm not playing it right now. I'm so sorry. See what I mean? People are already asking me, can you add a song for me? Can you please play this for me? I'm sorry, I don't know how to play it. Yeah, see what I mean? We got people already doing it, man. Well, isn't it ironic? We have Galaxy and we have Galactic. Interesting. You guys know each other? You guys related? You guys hang out? Lemon says, do you like multi-scale guitars? Not really. The reason I don't is because the way I look at it is you get used to a scale length. You really do. So if I mainly play like 25 and a half and I switch to 24 and 3/4, not too different. It's a little bit different. 24-inch scale length, you know what I mean? Not too different. You go to 28, 27, it's like, we're getting a bit longer there. String gauges are different. The feel's different. 28, 29, 30, something like that. Every time that happens, it's like you got to readjust little things, these micro movements in your hand. Because I'll be playing this guitar and I'll be like, oh, my finger goes here. And it's like, actually, no, it's here. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, whoops. So you got to think like, there's little differences. So as far as multi-scale guitars and stuff like that, it's like now we're talking like the frets are kind of off-centered. Not for me, man. Like I remember I bought a 7-string and I was using it and I'm like, you know what? This isn't really worth it. I'd rather just buy a 6-string and put a 7-string set on there and just leave off the high E. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be using it that much. So I'm not going to do it. Let's see here. TR says, hello, Pat. Are you working on any new songs? You know what's funny? Part of my brain is like, I just released 2 albums in 1 year. Leave me alone. But the other part of my brain's like, yes, I am. But you're not seeing it anytime soon. I am not working on music anytime soon for you guys. Because I just released 2 albums in the past year. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to take a break from that. So I'm just going to play music and talk to people and really just let people know about the new albums rather than making a new one that's going to take more time off the show. So that's what I do. 502 says, what are you using for amps? Ooh, I've been using the same amp for like the last 2 years on the show. Off the show, I have a different amp that I play in a different room that I like. I would like to get more amps, but I also just don't want to spend... I think it's kind of unnecessary to spend the money. It's like, I already got stuff I like. It's like, do I want to just be a tone chaser or do I want to actually play music, you know? Because I'll be real. The amount of people, I'm gonna talk some shit to you guys for a second. You better buckle up. The amount of people that spend more time obsessing over minor details in sound versus writing music and playing music drives me up a fucking wall. The guy that goes, actually, it's your EQ needs to be like that. Buddy, play us a song. And that's coming from me. You know what I mean? It's like, I understand the idea of trying to get a sound you're looking for. Like, well, my hero's Jimi Hendrix, and I have to get a sound. I really want to get that sound. It's like, okay, got it. Do you need it to be identical? Does it need to be? Maybe write some songs, you know? So I spend a lot less time tone chasing than I do actually just writing and playing music. Because I feel like you get into a nice Goldilocks zone where it's not too bright, it's not too dark, it's just right. And then it's like whatever. Like the amount of times I go back and somebody asks me, what guitar did you use on this song? And I'm like, I don't remember. You know what I mean? It just sounds good. But maybe I could figure it out. But it happens. You know, it's not as important to me to keep that stuff in line because it all just kind of sounds similar, you know. So, but yeah, so the long and the short of that is just whatever sounds good, whatever feels good. I don't really pay attention to it too much, but yeah, more writing music. That's what I want to pay attention to. I kind of love, but to be fair, I've already found a lot of the guitars I really, really love. You know, I already found all the stuff I really like. So, for example, Mr. Metal's asking what my dream guitar is. I own a lot of my dream guitars, you know. I wanted a Lake Placid Blue Jaguar with a humbucker and a toggle switch, and I got one. And it feels great. It sounds great. I love it, you know. I wanted a Les Paul Jimmy Page. I don't have a Jimmy Page, but I have something very, very, very similar. And I don't have to spend $6,000, $10,000 on it. You know, I only spent like $1,500. So it's like perfect. It's what I want. I don't have to worry about it. It's kind of It's like kind of, you know, banged up, so I don't have to worry about treating it right. It's already been damaged. I think if anything, right now, what I want to do with equipment, if I was going to do something with equipment, it's to repair some of the stuff. Like my acoustics fucking need, like I've done all the work I can, right? I've done everything I can do, but I need to get some stuff repaired. You know what I mean? 502 is like, not me. I'm retired. Stay away from me. No, 502, please. You're like, no, I'm retired. Psh, get out of here. But yeah, that's what I want. I just want to fix some stuff up, make sure it plays a little bit better. 502 is like, woo. That's okay. I like 502 being here because there's like, I feel like there's an adult in the room. No offense to you guys, because I know some of you are adults, but having somebody who be like, yep, that's correct. You know, nope, that's not correct. Actually, it's this. Or no, he's telling the truth. You know, it's nice to have somebody. It's nice to have somebody in the chat I can just be like, look at and I can go, yeah, gotcha. Yeah. 502's like, yep, I'm an adult. Yep, guilty. All right, so let's see. Galactic says, how long has Cool Killa been part of the show? Cool Killa's been watching the show for about over a year. For those of you who don't know who Cool Killa is a friend of mine that comes on the show and just annihilates you guys. Comes in and just completely styles on everybody. Moonwalks in and out of the room. Fucking what a bastard. Beautiful bastard. Terry says, I hate changing strings. Really? What do you got, a Floyd Rose? You got something difficult to restring? Restring is not so bad. Galaxy says, what's your favorite K-pop band? I don't know. They're usually on mute. But I will say this. They're very, very similar to like Backstreet Boys. Did anyone notice that? It's like chemically government designed Backstreet Boys, but from Korea. It's very interesting. Bill Gleason sends a €5 donation saying, would you ever consider doing a tutorial on self-producing? I think your take on it would be really cool since you do all the instruments yourself. You know what? Do you want me to do it right now? I mean, I'll try and answer the best questions I can. You sent me €5. Everyone say thank you to Bill, helping out the show. The first donor of the night. My man. Yeah, we'll talk about it right now. You got questions. Hey, man, you're paying me. You were on the show. So we'll put you on the sponsor list, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah. You ask a question, I'll see if I can answer it for you. What you got? Is there a specific thing? You tell me, man. It's your show. You got it. Yeah, everyone say thank you to our good friend. Maynard says, you ever play bass? Bass? Yeah, I have, unfortunately. I've got a Warwick rock bass Corvette, and it's been treating me lovely. Oh, really? Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm not a big bass guy. The only times I play bass is when somebody else won't. So, yeah, I've actually played one of those. Yeah. We used to have one of those at a store. Ours had the humbuckers in it, I think. So it's interesting. You have the, what are they? What pickups are those? I don't know. They look like, what are those? I actually don't know what pickups those are. I'm not a bass guy. But let's see here. But yeah, Bill, let me know if you have a specific question. I would love to explain something about producing or production. I don't know. I mean, let me put it this way. I want to make this very clear, you guys. I'm not an expert. I'm not somebody who's going to give you like medical advice or like financial advice or anything like that. But if you ask me my opinion, I will give you my opinion. I will tell you what I think, and I will give my experiences. But that being said, I just want you to know it's just from me. Like if you want production tips, you're going to get it from one guy who does everything himself. So let's see here. Terry says, no, just don't like it. I normally do all my guitars at once. Oh, are you talking about the stringing? Really? All right. Galactic says, do you do acoustic drums on the songs you make? No, I don't. Well, technically I do. I don't know. We'll see what Bill wants to ask. We'll see. But, yeah, if you guys want to get your name up here, send $1. Put you up there. I appreciate it. Ashfall says, how do you record guitar for your music? Same way I do it on the show. Just plug it right in. I have a cable right here. Plug it right in there. You're like, I know, asshole. I'm like, I know, I'm just messing with you. But it's kind of a long question. It's like a long answer to the question. It's easy to ask, but it's like hard to explain. Because it's like, you could talk about the recording process of the amplifier or like the room, or you could talk about the effects and the pedals. You could talk about how I track the instruments, how I mix it, all that stuff. It's a long answer. So, but the short answer is I just do it right here. Just like literally what you're seeing right now, water and everything. I'm in the middle of a out of focus lake right here. Now it's the ocean. No, that's kind of what I do. I sit here and I record. The whole album was recorded right here. Actually, every album. So let's see here. Za says, what is the most useful exercise you use to progress on guitar? Like one thing that got you through some things. Well, it depends on what you're trying to learn. I remember when I was trying to learn speed and dexterity, I remember I would do this thing Tom Morello taught me. Not that he taught me. There's a video on YouTube. But you can look it up. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube where he just like did one little run. He'd take the guitar and he'd go. Right? 502 Outlaw sends a $2 donation. Hey, we got 502. Oh, look. $2 saying, glad I found your channel. You know your stuff. Hey, coming from you, my friend, it means a lot. Everyone say thank you to the Outlaw. All right, we'll put you up there, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very, very good. Yeah. And if you guys want some guitar tech advice, do not ask Outlaw, because Outlaw is retired. He doesn't want to hear from you guys anymore. That's what I'm here for that. But Outlaw will be Outlaw's the guy I look to and I go, is that right? And Outlaw's gonna be like, or he'll go. Love it. Za says, yeah, I do that quite literally every time I pick up my guitar. You plug it in or you play it. Outlaw says, I can refer to you as my apprentice. Oh, man. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, you know what's funny? When I worked at a couple guitar shops back in the day, usually guitar techs, I don't think we would disagree on stuff, but they would do things that I didn't really like. I'll give you an example. So I was never the apprentice, but I was always the critic, I guess you could say. Not of the guitar tech necessarily, but like more the business. Like I remember one time we had somebody come in who needed a tremolo adjustment. So for those of you who don't know, guitars sometimes have a whammy bar, and the whammy bar is attached to some doohickey with springs. And I remember he set it up, and the guy clearly wanted it to do like tremolo things, right? Up and down. But the way his was designed, it was only supposed to go down, right? I get it. It's an Ibanez. It wasn't like a two-way trem, whatever. But he got it, and I remember the guy was like, wait, why is it only going down? And the guitar tech was like, yeah, it's designed only to go down. And I was like, this was a guy, I was like, dude, come on, you knew what the fuck he meant. He's like, no, that's how it's supposed to do. And it's like, yeah, but can you just fix it so that it's, I mean, he wants to go up and down with it. You know, he's only going down. He's like, well, he's going to have to pay me for more. I'm like, you know, if you asked him a clarifying question, because it's like, you know, you're not going to know, but yeah, it's really weird. 502 says, a lot of techs do bad stuff. Yeah, sometimes it's like, I understand it. It's like, how is he going to know he wanted to go up and down with it? But like, to be fair, if he was like actually talking to the customers, he would refuse to talk to customers. He'd be like, I'm not talking to them. So that would happen a lot, where somebody would come in, they'd be like, this isn't what I wanted. And I was like, God damn it. So I'd have to go back to him, and the amount of times he's like, I don't care. Just tell them to do it again. And then they would get mad at the store. You know what I mean? It was really annoying. So you have to, I mean, here's the thing. You just talk to them a little bit. I know they don't know everything, but you know, a lot of times they're kids. If they're kids and they come in, they're like, can I have humbuckers in this? And it has humbuckers. All they have to go is, yeah, that has humbuckers. They go, oh, okay, never mind, bye. You know what I mean? It's very obnoxious. So Za says, I genuinely hate pretentious and self-assured people in general. Like, what the fuck are you doing with your life, bruh? Za, I probably fall into that category quite a bit. But that being said, I mean, I generally try to use my powers for good, you know? Try to use my opinion to help people out, give some advice. So it's not good to pick on people too much. However, if people make bad decisions and they are like bragging about it, usually I call them out. So anyways, Terry says, have you played a Guild acoustic or electric? And if so, what did you think? I've played maybe 2 or 3 Guilds, like in a serious way. They seem fine. I've seen some really cool looking Guilds. There's a guy named Jesse, who is probably the greatest impersonator of Johnny Cash I've ever seen. God rest his soul. He passed away not that long ago. Actually, it's been a bit of years now. But let me pull it up. He had a Guild that looked like a D45. So if you don't know what that is, I will show you. Let me see here. I sure as hell ain't Johnny Cash. Gotta find this video. Oh, I can't play the video. I'll get in trouble. Yeah, you can't play other people's videos. Whoops. As it fucking video auto plays. YouTube! Why autoplay? Anyways. So, that was really annoying. Let me see if I can find it. I will show you what the video looks like if you guys want to see a really incredible cover of Johnny Cash. And I mean incredible. Like, you will not believe that it's not Johnny Cash without seeing it. Jesse Morris. Sunday morning coming down. I will show you the video so you guys can look at it. Yeah, this guy right here. He plays a Guild, and it is spectacular. I mean spectacular. You guys got... You know what? Part of me wants just to play a little bit of it. I think if I play a little bit, you guys will understand. I think it'll be okay if we do that. So, because this is in context, I am trying to give an example of a guitar. Fair use. So I gotta get comfortable with fair use. So hold on, let me play it for just a moment.
Hello, I sure as hell ain't Johnny Cash. I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head, but didn't hurt.
Like, are you kidding? That's Johnny Cash, dude.
The beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad. I had one more for dessert.
He's just on the subway, hanging out. Like, this is just a guy, right? And it makes me feel really bad because, like, he does an incredible impersonation of Johnny Cash. And I'm sure he has his own music, and I'm sure he has his own personality, his own jokes. But Lord have mercy if that's not, if you close your eyes, you can't believe it type stuff. So.
And I fumbled in my closet for my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. But I washed my face and combed the day.
Like, that's amazing. So anyway, so that's Jesse Morris. Like I said, he passed away not that long ago, but he has an incredible guitar. I actually do not know what model that is. We should check it out together. So let me see. Let me pull it up. Yeah, just amazing. Amazing. Oh, we got Terry says, I'm looking at the D240E. Okay, let's take a look at it. D240E. So there's a couple things you can look at when you're looking at acoustics. I can kind of guide you through it. Now, acoustics are actually kind of easy because electric guitars are a lot more nuance and bullshit marketing, whereas acoustics are kind of like, what's it made out of? How is it made? That's how you know. It's very, very simple. So let's take a look at it. It looks, this is Japanese over here. So I don't know what that means, but doesn't Fender own Guild? Am I correct in that? I think I'm correct in that. What do we got? This is the store. I don't know these websites. Let's go to all shopping. Azaz says it looks so generic, not gonna lie. I mean, that's acoustics, man. Like, hold on. I know it looks generic, but like, it's kind of like a chair. Like, what do you want a chair to do? It's got 4 legs, and it's got a cushion and maybe a back thing. Like, they're gonna look very similar, So hold on a second. So let me pull this up. Robert says, whoever asked this question, this helps me out a lot too. Oh yeah, Robert bought a Fender acoustic the other day, and I was like, nah, you want to get a Yamaha. You want to get a Yamaha for that price range. But anyways, so it looks like there's a Sweetwater ad. We'll look at this. So here's what we want to see. We want to see solid top. Solid top of the wood means it's louder, clearer, more of an acoustic sound. Because if it doesn't, it's going to be a lot quieter. It's going to be a lot darker sounding. So you want solid wood. And that's not because it's cool, but because if you think about it, laminates, if you don't know what laminate is, it's where they take the wood and they oftentimes they'll just kind of reconstitute it. They'll like particle board kind of stuff. Or they take a real thin sheet of it and then they put it over something, laminated. So the wood's like this, right? These are the wood fibers. So it's very hard for it to vibrate. So, but if you have a solid piece of wood, they're all the same grain, vibrates. You know what I mean? 502, you know what I'm talking about? Let them know. Let them know the truth. So what we want to see on here is a solid top of wood. Now, just by looking at it, it looks like that's a solid top of wood. Right down here, let me just kind of move this camera over. So usually you can tell if you look at the grain of the wood, it kind of has like these. See, there's the lines. So solid, typically. Now, they could have a veneer on it, but typically you have these like nice lines on it. And you'll see like an almost holographic. I'm not kidding. It like kind of moves and shimmers in the light. I will show you what a full grain of wood looks like. So let me get a flame maple, which is not the same. But let me pull this up for us to look at. So if you look at this wood, if I put it in the light, you'll see the grain of it kind of shimmer. It'll like, see, there we go, right? Look right here. See the little ripples? So yeah, it kind of shows up. Wood's really cool like that. It's called chatoigne. I don't know why they call it that, but it is. It sounds French. But you want a little bit of that. Now, sometimes laminates, if they're thick enough, they can kind of have that, or what they call a photo flame. So it's an exact science, but if you see that, generally speaking, you get a nice solid top of wood. Or you could do the easy thing, which is you fucking read the specs, because they usually brag about it. So we'll pull this up. We got solid top. So let's see. Here we go. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we used our eyes and we have succeeded. Solid top of spruce. Tell your mother. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some thumbs up in the chat? Thumbs up. Solid Sitka spruce. So that's what you want. You want Sitka spruce. Typically, you can get cedar, you can get maybe mahogany if you want, but you want solid wood. What else we got here? Mahogany. Okay, we got mahogany. Mahogany is kind of a plainer looking wood. A lot of furniture is made of mahogany. It's a good wood. Gibsons are made of mahogany. Seems fine. Rosewood is beautiful. If you can get a chance, if you have a chance to get rosewood looks great. So this is rosewood. So if you look at it, look, big long streaks right there, right? Look at that. But here's the thing. This is a laminate. So this looks good. This is just a real thin sheet of rosewood. And then on the inside, it's not quite the same. So still sounds good. But laminates are fine. Back and sides, okay. Not a big deal. It's kind of a cheaper thing, but it's okay. As long as the top is solid, you're good. And trust me, you're probably thinking, who gives a shit? Why do I care about this? The reason you want the solid piece of wood is because it's louder, clearer. You want it to sound like an acoustic, don't you? What are you thinking? So anyways, so let's keep going. Let's look through the specs a little more. It says it has the classic Guild C-shaped neck. So it has, no, it's not probably super wide. It's not super thin. It's probably got a little chunk to it. Not a lot, though. So that seems fine. Let's look at the actual specs. It says it's got a 11/16 inch nut width. That's pretty standard. Again, nothing, not probably too wide, not too super thin. It's probably a little bit wider, I would say, than some guitars, but it's okay. Better tone, 502 says. You're correct. I agree. 25.5 inch scale. That's like a Fender scale length. I'm starting to think that Fender does own Guild. And it looks like it has a electric. It has an electric pickup. It fits the E. Whenever you see E, D240E, 150E, that means electric. So that's that. John Smith says, where's the music at? We're not playing music for another hour, man. Sorry. We're kind of just hanging out. We're talking. We're kind of giving some advice about guitars, music, whatever. But if you got questions, let me know. We're not playing music for another hour. And then what else we got here? The dreadnought. If you don't know what a dreadnought is, that is the body shape. So it's kind of like a big thing. It's the big old hips. Basically the generic acoustic. It's pretty big. And then let's see what we got here. Matte finish. Okay, so that's actually important to know. So a matte finish. So if we look at the guitar, it's not going to be shiny. There's not a gloss finish. So if we look at the wood, it should not be that shiny. There we go. That's a matte finish right there. Okay, so if you look right here, see how it's kind of like, it looks kind of, what's the word? Fuzzy, I guess? Like almost like somebody put their thumb and got some grease on a camera lens. So if you look right there, a matte finish means that it's kind of, I'll show you on my guitar actually, because I have one that's a matte finish. This guitar, it's smooth, but not, there's not like a big glob of like polyester or nitro or anything like that. It's a very thin finish. So it's smooth. But here's the thing. That means the wood will actually kind of fluctuate in the weather a little bit, because usually we want to finish on it so that it protects the wood better. So not only will it help it with denting and stuff, but like as the weather changes, typically the wood will move too. Wood's kind of a living thing still. It's not completely dead, mostly dead. But the idea is that as the temperature drops in the winter, it'll move, it'll shrink. And then when it gets rainy and it's really wet out, it'll expand. So it gets kind of, a little bit nasty, but it'll move. So that means you're going to need adjustments. So satin finishes tend to, I think they sound a little bit better. Not a lot, not dramatically, but they will have some issues with humidity, things like that. So, yeah. The inside has no finish either. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, so typically speaking, like you want somewhat of a finish. Like this one has a gloss finish on the neck. You can kind of, let me make the fucking camera bigger. You can see how shiny, look at that. Look how mirror-like that is. And then you look at the back, it's like, not really. So, but if it's a laminate back and sides, that'll help you with the weather. So anyways, bottom line is, if you got sweaty hands, if you live in a humid environment, you probably want something glossy. If you live in fucking, Arizona or California, and you don't have sweaty hands, you don't have to think about this at all. So, but to be fair, you're going to probably play it and enjoy it anyways, so this doesn't really matter. But it's just be prepared for it. If your guitar gets fret sprout and it starts moving, and you're like, what the hell is this? Why is the fret sticking out the sides? That's what's going on. So I hope that helps. I would say buy it, dude. It seems fine. I would try before you buy, or at least make sure you can return it just in case. Oh, and one thing we didn't talk about is the tail right here, where the neck joint is. So that's what do they call that? A dovetail? Really smooth? I can't remember actually. But mine don't usually have that. Mine are like pointy, and they kind of stick out a little bit. 502, what would you call that? What is that, dovetail? I don't know what that is. I can't remember. It's probably dovetail. But yeah, as long as it's not, it's, again, minor detail. But yeah, look how far this sticks out. It's pretty far. And then that one's smoother. So this one's... Again, is that a big deal? No. But it's something to pay attention to. Some people like it. Some people don't. So dovetailed. All right, 502. Come on, right here, buddy. We're explaining things. Horseshoe, John Baptiste says. Hey, I'll take it. But that being said, I hope that answers your question. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And then I'm still waiting on Bill. I wanted to make sure Bill got that question answered. It says, would you ever consider doing a tutorial on self-producing? Because I said yes. I said I would answer some questions. So Bill's still out there. I'm still looking for a question for you, buddy. So yeah, but if you guys want to get yourself on the sponsor list, we got Bill. We got 502. We got the Outlaw. So if you guys want to get on there, super chat, $1, $2, whatever you want. You're helping out the show. So Terry says, thanks for going over that Epiphone Dove was horrible. Oh, dude. We need to talk about that. So the Epiphone, dude, I used to sell guitars for a while. And the Epiphone that I had at the store a couple times, we had a couple Epiphone acoustics. Again, I don't hate Epiphone. I just don't recommend them most of the time because they have quality control issues really bad. Gibson owns them. So think about that. Think about a Chinese company owned by an American company that's known for like just being like, fuck it, whatever. Think about that. So anyways, Epiphone loves to spit stuff out real quick, and I've seen Epiphones where the pick guard comes off. It just well, this one doesn't have one, but it would if it was Epiphone, it would have came off. So like, is that a big deal? No, but yeah, Outlaw says there are better options instead of Epiphone. I agree. I mean, if you like them, dude, go for it. I'm not telling you what to do. Just giving my opinion based on what I've seen. So, Robert Sterling, $5 donation saying that Guitar Smash was epic last night. Stay gnarly. Dude, Robert, thank you for helping out the show, buddy. You're a legend. You bloomin' ripper. All right, we'll put Robert Sterling on there. Thank you so much, buddy. Very, very good. We'll put you on there, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is so sick, dude. Yeah, if you didn't know, sorry, Outlaw, cover your ears, man. Sometimes we smash guitars on the show when we get like a goal. Sometimes we'll get a donation goal. And yesterday's was 400 donations, which is astronomical. And we did it. So we smashed a guitar on the show. But to be fair, it was a hunk of junk. It had terrible rusting parts. The neck was all fucked up. So it was, I wouldn't want to say beyond repair, but it was beyond reasonable repair. You know, I mean, you could probably fix anything, but yeah, I usually only smash stuff on my show that's like, it's gone. You know, it's expired. So, all right, you can uncover your ears, Outlaw. Outlaw's like, I don't know what you're saying. All right, let's see here. It had a smell. It did. It smelled like paint. It was disgusting. It literally smelled like wet paint when I smashed it. Very weird. I think it had Chinesium in it or something. I'm not sure. A fitting end for some guitars. I could tell Outlaw's like, whatever. Not my show. Maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe I would fix it and give it to some whippersnapper. Outlaw's like, I don't sound like that. Don't you ever do an impression of me again, you son of a bitch. Don't you ever make me sound like Morgan Freeman slightly. Ah, yes, it's me, Morgan Freeman. We're talking about guitars. I hope you all enjoy it. What the hell? All right, let's see here. Man City says, Patrick, do you play any sports? No. I mean, I rock climbed for a long time, but I don't know if that constitutes as a sport for most people. But rock climbing is great, dude. I love it. It's really fun. I wish I could do it still. I just don't live near anything that like can rock climb. I'll take Morgan. Ah, yes, it's me, Outlaw. It's me, Morgan Freeman, known as 502 Outlaw 2 on YouTube. Wouldn't that be wild if, like, stars just had random YouTube accounts? And I'm sure they do. But it would be really funny to see them just, like, make videos like, hello, everybody, it's me, Morgan Freeman, and this is my cover of Last Kiss from Pearl Jam. I hope you all enjoy. Oh, where can my baby be? like how I lost it when I started singing. Oh, it's so funny. Let's see here. Vort says, what's your favorite band? Don't say Finals. If you didn't know, my band's name is Finals. So for those of you who didn't know, I actually do make music. You're welcome to listen to it sometime if you want to. Also, if you have questions, music, guitar, video games, streaming, we're hanging out here, we're talking. So again, thank you for being here. If you guys got a question, let me know. And if you want like a serious, long answer, we've done it a couple times tonight. Super chat me your request. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever you want to do. So anyways, we're going to keep playing some music later. But Man City, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know why you thought it'd be funny to repeat the same thing 70 times in the chat. But you're going to take a time out now, buddy. Don't do that. Yep, don't do that. You're going to be in timeout for 5 minutes. The joke wasn't funny that much. So, all right, so what was it? The question was, what's my favorite band? I'm a big fan of Nirvana. It's my favorite band. Absolutely favorite band. I love playing music like it. I love listening to it. It's been 20 years of listening to that. And I'd say it hasn't gotten old yet. I still love it. So, yeah, Nirvana is my favorite band. So, Kyle says, I Airplane Over the Sea. You know how many songs have that chord progression? Bunch of songs. Terry Davenport sends a $2 donation saying, thanks for answering Sweetwater to the Dove back. You got it, man. Yeah, I was going to say, they're probably okay. Some of them are. But, dude, the amount of times I've seen problems, the necks are just like this. The frets are kind of messed up. Like, you want something that you can play. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, Yamaha, $200, $300 range. Some of the best guitars you could buy. Of all time. Not just in that price range. Of all time. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Vort says there is a Sweetwater guitar giveaway right now. Cool. They usually have something like that. Can everybody say thank you to Terry for sending a $2 donation saying, thanks for answering. You got it. But yeah, like I said, if you guys have questions, if you want like an in-depth answer that like maybe you don't want to trust a bunch of strange people online, you want to trust a strange man on YouTube who has 20 years of guitar playing, information, knowledge, selling, and just writing stuff. It's out there. So Adam says, statement, play some music already, guy. We're not going to play music until 8 p.m. Sorry, man. If you wanted to hear some music, you're going to have to wait. We're kind of hanging out. We're just chatting. I know some guys come in here and they get confused because they see the guitar, but I'm playing music later. Yeah. Derek says, I love my Zager. I've never heard Zager. And Seagull. Seagull! I have a Seagull. Phenomenal guitars. I've had this guitar longer than I've been playing music. Adam says, what if I want to hear music now? Hold on a second. Is this the same guy from yesterday? Hold on a second. Hold on. Adam, hold on. Let everybody in the chat focus up real quick. What are you going to do? What's this conversation you've had? What am I, your mother? Is this how you talk to your mommy? I want music now. That's how you sound right now, buddy. What are you going to do? You going to cry about it? You going to say some mean stuff in the chat? Chat, what's this guy going to do? What does that mean? I want it now. Have you not talked to an adult before? What does that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? Adam says, no need to be mean, bro. Shake my head. No, listen, you're the one who said some shit first. It is the same guy. Why do you keep coming in here, dude? That's so pathetic. Good Lord. Why do you keep coming in here? It's so weird. It's the same. I'm telling you guys right now. One, I'm telling you, here's why I think it's the same guy. There's a guy coming in here yesterday all the time, being obnoxious and kept asking the same question about it. Yeah. May 5th. Okay. Relatively new YouTube account. No profile picture. Weird name. Why do you keep coming in here? What is the problem? I don't understand. Think about it. What's the whole point? Because you're wasting your time. I'm going to be on here regardless. I'm getting paid to be on here. So I don't get it. I don't understand how that works. Logan says, I'm just starting to play guitar. Do you have any tips? Yeah. Some of the blanket tips I have for learning to play guitar are make sure you play and learn songs you like. Sometimes with guitar teachers, what they do is is they try to get you to play songs you're like unfamiliar with, you don't like. You're going to be less likely to play guitar and learn it if you don't like the song. Like, think about it. Like, are you going to watch a movie you don't like? No. Are you going to watch a YouTube video you don't like? No. If you're going to learn how to play guitar, you want to learn songs that you want to learn. Now, that being said, I can't tell you what you want to learn, what you don't. But typically, you want to try and learn songs you enjoy. If you're learning to play chords and simple things, so many bands, so many songs out there. Very simple, just a couple chords. You're going to be surprised at how many songs use the same chords. You're going to be like, that's like a whole bunch of songs I know. Like, for example, we were just talking about the song Aeroplane Over the Sea, which is G, E, C, D. So many songs use that chord progression. Oh, it's an unbelievable amount. And then you think about like Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd, you got that. If I didn't care, for you, it's just G and C, man. That's it. It's just two chords, almost the entire song. So find a song you like. Try and pick something that sounds simple. You know, like maybe a couple chords that you can think of. Look it up. Check it out. There's so many songs out there that use the same chords. And you're just like, oh. And the more you learn, the easier it gets. The more you learn, the easier it gets. The easier it gets, the more you learn. So it's the very, very beginning of guitar that's really difficult. Yeah, because I'll give you a couple reasons why people quit guitar in the beginning. It's because it's a little painful. It's not horrible, you know. You're not cracking your legs open and, you know, taking the bones out or something crazy. You're putting your fingertips on the metal. Most people, the most their fingertips see is a piece of glass that they hold in their hand, which is called their phone. So it's a smooth surface. So when you have your fingers touching like a metal that's like a wire, you're like, ah. But after a week or so, it gets a little easier. It really does. Just keep doing it. And if your hand starts hurting, just stop. Take a break. Be nice to your hand. And then you have to press down on the strings. Which you're like, okay, I've never had to do that before. Ploak says, do the Weezer riff right now, or you don't get tacos. Oh no! Anyways, so when you're playing guitar, you just want to make sure you focus on songs you like. I wouldn't say play through the pain. You're just gonna get dissuaded from doing it. So just play until it hurts a little bit, and you're like, okay, I'll take a break for a little bit. But a great example of a song that I recommend, like, is About a Girl from Nirvana, my favorite band. So you don't have to learn this, but it's two chords almost the entire song. And then it switches up with some power chords, but ooh. Hello, G string. What's going on? Did you forget? Good Lord. Happens. I like how I'm playing the seagull and a seagull went by. It's pretty funny. But yeah, just find a song you like. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. That's what you want to do. Just get a guitar you like, or get a song you like and just learn it. So that's my blanket advice. There's a bunch of little pieces of advice. But if you're like, you want something more specific, like, hey, I'm having trouble with this song or having trouble with this or that, then I can probably give you better advice. I saw somebody earlier say something about pinch harmonics. Yes, Vort said, do you have any pinch harmonic tips? I want to learn Cemetery Gates from Pantera, and I already got the first part, but I don't know how to do pinch harmonics. Okay, so let me explain pinch harmonics. So if you don't know what a pinch harmonic is, I do have a video. If you go to my account, there's a video that's specifically about pinch harmonics. I think I'm wearing a brown shirt. But so a pinch harmonic is more about the placement of where your pick is and your thumb. So it's not the left hand. We're thinking about the right hand, or at least if you're right-handed. So if you're left-handed, flip that. So if you got right, you can get it. It's not as bad as you think. So what you're doing is, here's the technique explained. Your thumb and the pick are hitting the string at almost the exact same time. So what it does is it creates this false harmonic. So instead of you doing this, or instead of you doing that, you're doing that motion down here. So it's very weird. But I promise you, if you practice a little bit, you'll get good. So pinch harmonics are a little weird, but we'll use my Jaguar. Yeah, the fleshy part of your thumb. Exactly. So let me turn off that microphone, plug it in. So if you guys are enjoying the live stream, hey, tap that string or tap the screen. Let me know you're out there. But yeah, see how you. As you move your thumb and your pick, it's better to do it with a little bit of distortion. See, as I move the pick up the string, there's like certain areas. So you got to find the sweet spot on your guitar. They tend to be right where the pickups are. TR sent an Australian $2. Thank you so much, TR. We'll put you on the sponsor list, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We'll put you on there, bud. So we got Bill Gleason. We got Outlaw. We got Robert. We got Terry. We got some good people up there, man. And now we got TR. Thank you so much. I'll put you on there. Man, the list grows. Look at that. There you go. Look at all the cool people. Oh, let me do something real quick. There we go. So yeah, if you want to get your name on there, send me a super chat, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App if you want to. I'll answer something more in depth if you do that too. But go ahead if you want to. But anyways, as far as yeah, thank you, TR. I appreciate the Australian $2. Where were we? Pinch harmonics. So yeah, you got to find the sweet spot. But yeah, try just picking down and just trying to get your thumb and your pick hitting at the same time. You got to experiment with it a little bit because I know you hold your pick a little bit different. Your thumb's probably a little bit different. I usually go on the G string or the B string. So if you're really cool, if you want to do some real style on people, try and do a double pinch harmonic. It's very weird, but let me try my different guitar. Hold on. My Les Paul's good at it too, but it's a little bit of a wider fretboard, so makes it a little bit easier. So I hope that helps. Let's try and do a double pinch harmonic. My lord, is that legal? I will make it legal. Dude, double pinch harmonic. Sounds like a goddamn radio signal, dude. Super weird. But, yeah, there's no real practical use for that other than just styling on people. You know who's got a really good pinch harmonic is Zach Wild. I actually don't know how to do a Wild pinch harmonic, so I know he does something a little bit different, and then he adds a lot of a lot of vibrato to it. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's where you like bend the note, but you gave it like a little bit of a. That's vibrato. So it's very weird. Rhett says, Patrick, FYI, Cash App's still having that issue, so donations might want to go through Super Chats and PayPal. I guess so. Yeah, I guess that guy kind of ruined it for me, so I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I think somebody reported my Cash App or something in a fucked up way. So it's what happens. I'll tell you what, though. We'll see if there's a way I can fix that. So it says failed payment was not sent. Oh! It specifically says you reached the maximum number of you could receive at one time. Well, I guess that makes sense. So I don't know why, but yeah, I guess we got to take off Cash App. We got enough people sending donations on Cash App where it's like, no. So I guess we got to, just for now, get out of town. Rhett says, wow, we broke Patrick's Cash App. I guess so. Because remember, I play music too. I play music on here, so people love requesting music. Obviously, you see some people getting mad at me. So, Vort says, same with dive bombs. Do you have tips on that? Well, I don't have a Floyd Rose. So you need somebody with a Floyd Rose to give you advice on that. I don't usually use Floyd Roses. I've had them in the past. They involve a change in the playing that I don't like. So, for example, when you do like a unison bend, so you got... So when you're bending one string and you're keeping one string the same, you actually can't do unison bends the same if you have a Floyd Rose. So for those of you who don't know, it's a tremolo, it's a vibrato, it's a whammy bar, whatever you want to call it. But when you're doing a unison bend, what happens is you're bending the string up, right? So you're creating lower tension on the springs on the guitar, maybe higher, depending on how you look at it. And so what happens is this string will go down. It'll go like this. So you actually have to bend both strings. It's really weird. So you don't want that. But yeah, it's not a great thing. So if you have a tremolo, Floyd Rose, vibrato, whatever, it's not good. So, but I don't like it. You can enjoy it. So, do I play in drop D? Yeah, I got a couple guitars over here. The reason I have so many is not because I'm a fucking guitar like collector and like that. Which, hey, if you are, cool. I like having a bunch of guitars too, but this is because I have different tunings. So I have standard, half step down, drop D, and then I have C standard, D standard. See what I mean? Like I have a bunch of different tunings I have to use. So certain guitars have certain things. So 502 Outlaw says, run the Floyd in down only. Eliminates many problems. Hey, we got some information here. Also, if you run a floating Floyd, buy a mag lock. See, I didn't know that. I don't use any kind of tremolos, so that's interesting. I did not know. Everybody say thank you to Outlaw for spreading some information to us out of the kindness of his heart. But yeah, if you're trying to run a Floyd Rose, run it so you can only bend it down instead of up and down. Apparently that'll fix some problems. Yeah, and if you run a floating Floyd mag lock, there you go. Look at that. Mr. Metal says, what type of guitar is that? It's a Les Paul Trad Pro 5. So it's got some features on it I like, aside from it being pretty. Sometimes you just want something pretty. But it's got coil taps. It's got a bunch of little things on it that I really like. I'm not a big Gibson guy, but I do like Les Pauls. But so you got your coil tap for the neck pickup. So instead of it being like this, sounds good. But then you press this pot in the knob. See how much that cleans it up? Makes it a little spankier. Sounds so good. But if you want something thicker, you can do that too. Terry says, I like the way you've been breaking up the live Q&A and then playing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we do one in the beginning, and then we play music, and then we do one at the end. So, yeah, we do the one at the end. We play video games. So, you know what's funny? There's one guy that keeps coming in and complaining. It's very embarrassing. You guys will probably see him again. He's already done it like twice today. But he says the same thing every time. He's like, where's the music? Why aren't you playing music? It's very weird. It's the same guy because it's always like a new account. And it's always a weird no-profile account. So you'll see him. You'll see him. Jamie says, do you use guitar string sprays at all? No, but I'm going to tell you right now, I thought they were kind of a gimmick. I thought they were kind of stupid. But then I saw somebody use one, and I played his guitar, and I went, oh, okay, I could see that. It does kind of make it smoother. It really does. Now, whether you actually want that or not, I don't know. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, they're not insane, but they're not completely out of place. So, yeah, it's. I used to think, I was like, why would you? Did Jimi Hendrix use that? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I was like, who would use this? And then I saw somebody use it. I'm like, can I try it? Because I've never used it. And then, like I said, you got to try it sometimes. And I was like, oh, I can see it. It does make it kind of smooth. But then again, you have to think about it this way. You get used to something, you're going to have to keep using it. So, for example, like with my guitar picks, I used to sharpen them so they had a fine point. And you can buy them with the point, but they're a little bit shorter. So I got used to playing them with the sharpened point. And I kind of had to train myself out of that because I was just always sharpening my picks and it just wasted a bunch of time. So Rhett says, $5. Would you ever consider doing a stream building a Frankenstein guitar from the pile of smashed guitars in the back? Dude, there is not a single usable part back there. For those of you who don't know, I have a whole giant like pile of broken guitars behind me. It's kind of like the throne from Game of Thrones. Except instead of swords, it's a bunch of broken guitars. Would you guys like to see the pile of broken guitars? But once again, thank you so much to Rhett. Yeah, not a single piece of those guitars is usable. I'm sorry. Not a single one. None of them. So Rhett, AF82, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. So we got it. Let's see what we got here. But yeah, let me know. Aiden says glue it. No, dude. The glue. You know how much time that's going to take? I don't want to do it. But that being said, building a guitar, people have asked me to write songs on the show or record songs. So I'm not opposed to doing stuff if you guys want me to do something. But that being said, it's like one of those things where I don't want to do something that's a ton of work if people don't actually want it, you know? So, yeah. So let me see here. Quentin says, update, 2 months. Also, can everybody please say thank you to Rhett for sending a wonderful donation of $5? Dude, you guys are being so nice. I appreciate it. But Quentin says, update, 2 months since you convinced me to learn how to play guitar. Oh, I convinced you? Interesting. Starting with About a Girl. Hey, we were just talking about that. Things are going well. For the moment, the progress is rapid, but so very satisfying. That is good to hear, buddy. Because I'll tell you right now, 90% of people that play guitar when they first start playing quit within the first, week? 2 weeks? So, and then I think the rest of the people, I think it's 80% quit within the first month. So if you made it 2 months, you're already more along than probably 90 to 80% of people that tried to play guitar. So, dude, you are awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know. I'm glad you found something you enjoy. I didn't know I was going to like it either. Who knows? You just got to try stuff, man. Try stuff. Don't try everything, but try stuff that, maybe it's a good hobby. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't try everything. Don't try everything, but try different hobbies. Rock climbing. Get into cars. Sneaker collecting. Get out of sneaker collecting because it's expensive and kind of a waste of time. Try it, though. You might find something you love. Yeah, let's see. We got Kyle says, I've been playing guitar for about a year, and I have you to thank, Pat. We got another person enjoying the show. You've been a huge inspiration, and your music is fire. Hey, thank you, my band Finals. So we're talking about, if you haven't listened to my music before, my new album, Finals Unplug, came out not that long ago, just a couple weeks ago, and I'm live every single day. Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. What do we got? We got Rock and Roll AC/DC saying, would you ever do a series of streams where you take parts from your Smash guitar? Oh, my God. Oh, you missed the answer? Oh, no. They're too... Oh, yeah, we were supposed to show... Nobody said they wanted to see the guitars. All right, I guess they don't want to see it. Yeah, they're too... I'm going to tell you right now, if it was like a body of a guitar and then like the neck of another guitar and it was like in good shape, yeah, we could probably do that. You'd probably play like shit, but it would probably work. You ever see a Fender get smashed? They don't really break. They're just like they crack one part and then the neck comes off. So, Outlaw says, show me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Terry says they need you at every guitar shop. Guitar Center, people are lost. You know what's funny? I used to be a manager at a guitar shop for a long time. You know what it is, though? And I'll tell you right now, I would not blame the people at Guitar Center. It's so much. It's really the company. They really just their hiring standards are basically like McDonald's. They just want somebody who can get you in and out the door quick. Like the amount of times I've worked with people at guitar shops and they just like they don't care. And I'm like, why did you hire this guy? But then it becomes, who are we going to hire? Nobody wants to do this job. We don't pay well. So it's one of those things. So, yeah. So if you got questions, man, let me know. I used to be a guitar salesman. Used to do it for a long time. Rhett says, show the carnage. I want to see everybody in the chat. Can we get some guitar emojis? I will show you the guitars that I smashed on the show, but I want to see people. I don't see a lot of enthusiasm. How am I supposed to do something if you guys are like, I don't know, I guess show it. Whatever, man. I'm playing Fortnite. I'm just listening. Oh, man. Yeah, Outlaw says they just want someone who'll show up. Yeah. Yeah, basically. You know what's funny about that, to be fair? Musicians aren't really the most, reliable people. So I remember I had a manager at a guitar shop that would come in drunk. It was really embarrassing. Like eyes rolling in the back of his head, wasted. It's like, how did you get to work? So happens all the time. All right, we got a bunch of guitar emojis. All right, I'll show you guys real quick. So let me get my movable camera. So let me see what's this. You'll see some stuff change at the top, so just ignore that. But we got it. Hello? Hello, everybody. What's going on? All right, let's go see the carnage. So there's a couple. There's the electric we broke. There's a couple over there. A bunch of bodies over there. A whole bunch over there. We smash them quite often, so I don't really clean them up until like way later in the month or next month or something. So we smash a lot of them. Some guitar strings down there. So there's a bunch back there. Yeah, there's a whole lot. So, but that being said, we don't do it to be crazy jerks or anything. We do it because when we have a goal, we have a gift goal. It's like a reward. It's like, hey everybody, we've paid for the show. So Outlaw says that looks like fun. I'll tell you what, dude. You ever smash a guitar? Anybody smash a guitar in here? If you've never done it, maybe try it once in your life, just once. Be a rock star for a little bit. Give yourself 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Robert says drunk manager. Yeah, dude. The guitar shops I've been in, just typical rock stars, man. Like I had a guy come in who this is true. Okay, I'll tell you a couple guitar shop stories. So I'm not going to say which ones because I don't want to give them any kind of good press or bad press. But yeah, we had one where we used to. Actually, you know what? Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you not a bad story. I'll tell you a good story. We used to have this one guitar shop. I've told this story a couple times on here, but does anybody know who? Let me see here. Anybody a Bob Marley and the Wailers fan? Anybody a Bob Marley and the Wailers fan? If you're a Bob Marley fan, just so you know, there's a bunch of people that enjoy Bob Marley. Obviously, I'm not a super fan, but I do enjoy the music. But we had a guy named Junior Marvin who was we had Junior Marvin who used to come in, who was the guitar player for Bob Marley and the Wailers. He used to come in frequently. I hung out with him. Very funny guy. One day we thought we killed him. We thought he died. So Junior Marvin, he came to our store. We were closing up, And he comes up. He's got a British accent, which is really funny. And he comes in. He always wears this hat. So if you ever Google Junior Marvin, let me show you who I'm talking about, actually, because I can just pull it up. Let me show you Junior Marvin so you know who I'm talking about. He always wears this hat. He got sunglasses all the time. Man's a fucking cool dude. My man's awesome. I love Junior Marvin. There he is. There you go. I got him. Yeah. Junior Marvin. You got the hat and sunglasses. My man. Dude, he's so cool. Anyway, so Junior Marvin came into the shop, and we were literally closing. Like, literally, we're locking the door. He's like banging on. He's like, Patrick, I would like a tuna, mate. Patrick, can I get a tuna, mate? Please, mate, I just need a tuna. You got a clip-on tuna. I can't find mine. And so I'm like, all right, come on in, Junior. Let's figure it out. So he comes in, and my manager Adam at the time, he's like, what the fuck is Junior doing in here? Tell him to get out. Because he's like, we've seen him enough. We're like cool with him. So like we can be kind of mean to him. Not that I would be mean to him, but anyway, so we're like, hey, Junior, you got to get out, man. We're closed. We can't. He's like, come on, Patrick, can I just get a tuna, mate? So I'm like, sorry, man, you got to go. Adam says you got to leave. And he's like, all right, mate. Thank you very much. And he leaves. And he gets in his car. He has like a Honda. He's like a old piece of shit Honda. It's a nice car, actually. I like him. But like a little Civic, like a hatchback. Little tiny hatchback. Think the Murph Mobile from Wayne's World. Not the same car, but it looks like that. So he slumps down in his car, and he's like this. And he's not moving. And so I'm like cleaning up the store, and we're doing stuff to close up. And it was a CRX. It was like a CRX. Exactly. Thank you, Terry. That's the car. Very important detail. So my manager, Adam, keeps walking by, and he keeps looking at the window, and he's like, he's like wash, he's cleaning something. I don't know. He's like, hey, Pat. Junior has not moved from that spot for like half an hour. Go check on him. And I'm like, why do I have to go check on him? He's like, well, I'll tell you why. Because if Junior Marvin dies in our parking lot, all of Jamaica is going to burn our store to the ground. And I go, fine, dude. I guess I'll go out. So I walk up to his car, and again, it's a glass all around the car. You can see pretty well into it. So I walk up, and I see, and he's literally like this. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I think he's dead. So I'm walking up, and I'm like, oh my God. And as I walk up, I'm like this close to the glass. I'm like looking at him, and I see like a blue light on his face. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he has his sunglasses on. So, let me get a prop. Hold on. Here's my sunglasses. This guy's sunglasses on. He's like this. And all of a sudden he goes, Patrick, have you got a tuna, mate? He was on his cell phone. He had an old flip phone. He was just like texting people because he was trying to get people to get him a tuner. He just needed a clip-on tuner. The guy's been playing guitar for like 60 years. He doesn't know how to tune he doesn't have a pedal. So I was like, fuck, man. So he's just like texting people. So I go back in, and I'm like, hey, Adam, he's alive. He just needs a tuner. And he's like, give him this fucking tuner and get him the fuck out of our parking lot. So we thought he died. So I give him the tuner. He's like, oh, bless you, mate. You're a royal one. Thank you so much. And he just drives off. So funny, man. Oh, my God. We didn't have a ton of stories like that, but, there were moments like at guitar shops and stuff. Shout out to Junior Marvin for being a badass. He's a really great guitar player, really nice guy. Super chill. You'd never know he was fucking dope as shit. You never know. You walk by him, you'd be like, hey, mate, your shoes untied. Oh, right on. He sounds like Jeff Beck, actually. It's really cool. But, if you ever watch an interview of Jeff, you could actually just watch an interview of Junior Marvin. What am I talking about? He's got interviews. Anyways, and then we had another story that was really funny. I know I'm kind of just talking. Does anybody have questions? I'm sorry. I'm kind of just rambling on about stuff. Anybody got any questions? Let's see here. See, I told you the guy came back. See, I told you. He just keeps coming back on here. The guy has no life. Says, dude, there's no need to make people pay you so you can play songs. Isn't that how playing music works? You pay people to play music? Does he not know what a concert is? Yeah, is he still in here? Jay Kirk, have you ever chat handled it? Right on. Okay. Yeah, how does that guy think anything works? You think streamers just hang out to do nothing for no reason? Like, yeah, we want to get paid, but like you don't have to. It's if you want to. If you want something, you kind of, you know what I mean? You go to Burger King and you say, "Can I have a hamburger?" They don't just give it to you. You got to pay for it. Makes sense. If you want an in-depth answer, you can ask. You can send a donation. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean it is free, but it's like if you want something, you pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. It's YouTube. You know, if you show up, you hang out. It still counts as a view and all that stuff. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. It's kind of what a crazy, what a like middle schooler, like I've never had a job mentality in my life. Kind of the, what is that? Hey man, I've never paid for anything in my life, and this should count. It's like, no, it shouldn't. What are you talking about? Like seriously, what kind of I don't pay the bills in my house kind of attitude is that? What the fuck? Like, listen, I remember being kid. You don't understand how money works. I get it. But you can't be shitty to people. You can't do that. That was Obama coming back out. You can't do that. You can't just join a live and be a shithead. You can't do that. Anyways, if you guys got questions, we're gonna take. We got time for maybe one or two more questions. If you guys got something you want to talk about, I can keep talking about guitar stories. I don't have a lot of really interesting ones. I have a couple mildly interesting ones. But if you guys got questions, let me know. We're going to probably end it in 3 minutes. I'm going to take a 15-minute break. And then we'll come back. We'll play some music for a couple hours. And then after that, we'll play Fallout. And then we'll answer more questions and hang out. We'll play Fallout and stuff. Jamie says, what do you think about digital amps as opposed to tube amps? Oh, I love them, dude. Digital's come a long way. I still love tube amps. Like, don't get me wrong. The original is always going to be perfect. But they have their disadvantages. Tube amps are heavy. They're fragile. They're easy to work on, but they're fragile. And they're expensive. Whereas digital amps sound incredible nowadays. If you go back 5 years, 10 years, it's like they were getting there. In the early 2000s, they just didn't sound great. Analog was still better. But they've come a long way. To the point where I think that if you can sit down and you can listen to an album and you can tell me with certainty which one's a digital amp, which one's an analog, which one's a tube amp, I will be shocked and I will want to steal your ears because I will be like, wow, that's amazing. Because I'll tell you this. The amount of times I've listened to a digital amp from a company and I go, not quite. Like, for example, the Tone Master series from Fender, love Fender amps. I don't think they're doing it justice because I've heard clones of Fender amps that are digital that do a better job. I've heard way better clones, and they are so damn good. But as far as tube amps go, there's something about being in the room. There's something about having that warmth. It's there. It's magical. But recording digital is so fucking great, man. So fucking great. Hey, he's back. Everybody in the chat. The guy who always was. We talked about this. We're going to do it in 15 minutes, man. Are you coming back to hear some music? I don't know. You're going to come back anyways. Oh, man. So great. The JC 120. Yeah, again, incredible amp. The chorus on that is angelic. If you guys have never heard a jazz chorus, go check it out sometime. You get a chance. You see it in a pawn shop. You see it at a guitar shop. Go check it out. Plug it in. It's amazing. It is Metallica 1 in a box. It's superb. Now, are you going to get other tones from other bands? No. It's going to do that thing and that thing alone really good. So, incredible. I love it. Super good. Yeah, big fan. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a big fan of amps and technology and music, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid now. Go check out some of those boxes with the programs and stuff in them. They are really good. I'll never forget the first time I heard a digital reverb that sounded like a spring reverb, and it fooled me. I'll never forget that. It was the Fender Boss pedal that did the spring reverb. I was like, it's indistinguishable. I would have never been able to tell. Never been able to tell. So, absolutely insane. It's let me put it this way. I cannot find somebody in person or online who's like actually good at identifying it. Does that make sense? It was crazy how that goes. Absolutely insane. Godzilla God King says, at this point, Pat could cover the entire screen with the description of the live, and people will still ask for music. I mean, we're going to play music. That's the thing. It's just, I'll tell you who it's one guy who's like very upset that I'm not playing something. We don't even know what song he wants. He just keeps coming in here saying the same thing. There's a lot of people that come back to the show, and they just say the same thing over and over again. Can you imagine going to a restaurant and being like, you guys still don't have baked potatoes? It's like, ma'am, we do salads. We're a salad restaurant. It says it on the wall. Well, I want a baked potato. It's like, well, you're wasting everybody's time. You're wasting everybody's time. Outlaw says, I could tell some on the digital analog test. Well, yeah, you could some of the older stuff, but I'm telling you right now, dude, there's some stuff that's incredible at sounding like a real room and it's great. Like I'm astonished at how good it can sound. It really does. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. Anthony says a duck walks up to a lemonade stand and asks for grapes. That is fucking hilarious. Is that like a famous story? I've never heard that. Yeah, Godzilla God King says, I appreciate them coming, so it feeds the algorithm. Yeah, they don't understand. Like, I don't really kick them out as much anymore because they're just making the live stream. They don't understand how an algorithm works for the live stream. That's why I don't kick them out as much. So, YouTube that cartoon, Patrick? All right, maybe we will. I'll tell you what, though. I got to get off, you guys. We're going to take a 15-minute break. We're going to come back. We're going to play some music finally. So if you guys wanted to see if I'm a hack fraud musician or if I just talk about stuff, you're more than welcome to. But we will be back in not that long. It'll look like this. You'll see the music screen. You'll see the pricing up there. All the stuff on the screen, you'll be able to see it. But I got to get off. I got to take a break. I got to get something to eat. And then we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back. Okay? You guys cool? Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to end the live stream. You'll get a notification. Have you subscribed? I know some people have subscribed because they keep coming back, even though they say they don't like the show. So, man, Outlaw says, shut up and play your guitar. Fuck yeah, man. Frank Zappa's the man. All right, I got to get off. Stay gnarly. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back 15 minutes. Goodbye. Have you subscribed? Make sure you do it. Check out my band in the meantime, maybe. You might listen to something you like. All right, see you later. Good night. I'll be back 15 minutes.